It is a big day for the Dogs. Ed Richards plays his 150th game, become one of the prime movers in the competition in the midfield. Not everyone agrees with that, but he certainly has. James O'Donnell plays his 50th. And one closest to my heart, Oscar Baker. The Baker's dozen, number 13 on his back, plays his 50th game after 9 seasons in the AFL.
That's a great story. Will Lewis is on debut today. We mentioned there's no late changes. He's another great story. 26-year-old Footscray VFL Premiership winner last year. They've got 5 of those in today. He wasn't even on an AFL list until March 1. You check your watch, it's March 14. So he's been an AFL player for 2 weeks and he steps on field today. So good luck to the 26-year-old. Riley Sanders comes back in. And given the fact there's no late changes, means the same 23 for the Giants that beat Hawthorn last week are there again today. And that means Finn Callaghan is playing. So good news for the Giants and for all the fans of the Flying Finn. The man who's coached more games than anyone else in VFL AFL history, Mick Malthouse, is here on a Saturday afternoon. Hello, Mick.
G'day, Corby. Looking forward to this one. 2 favourite sides. I really love the way they go about it. I've been interested in listening to half 2 on his take of anything forward of centre. I'm not having a shot at you at all, but
might be.
Yeah, I am. No, but I'm just looking at these 2 teams, and what's
your address?
You're struggling probably to pick the Dogs last week.
Yeah,
and for all intents and purposes, Tom Green, Taylor out of that side, you think, Hawthorn will get them. Both had fantastic victories. There's going to be one winner and one loser today, and there's certain strengths of the Dogs that will counteract the Giants. But I look at, say, Hogan down at one end and think, okay, who's going to hold him? Particularly if the Giants get enough of the football, who's going to hold him because he's in good form? Stringer if he can maintain his form, his slimness, his body's in really good nick, that's a very, very dangerous forward line. So great game in front of us.
Hawthorn Life member, former Carlton AFLW coach, renowned footy broadcaster for many years. He's already catching strays on a Saturday afternoon. His name is Daniel Harford. Afternoon, Harf.
Afternoon, all. Nice to be with you. Well, it was to be with me. Tell you what, you might be ready for another home invasion shortly. I'm coming. It's going to be on. It's going to be on between me and you, the way things are going at the moment.
Well, I showed you some photographs of people who said what they love is the fact that they're in the men's department because, anything forward of centre, you know what those blokes reckon.
I wouldn't know. I spent time around the contest, living in the back half. That's where I was, the creator. You know that, Mick, better than anyone. But I'm looking forward to a few creators today. There's a lot of talent on display for both these 2 teams, and I was impressed with the way the Bulldogs got back into that game. 22 points down against the Lions last year. Got back into the game through slick footy, great transition. And you mentioned Ed Richards before, Benny. He was one of the main drivers. And they left Marcus Bontempelli forward when the game was on the line last week. I thought that was fascinating. So that's enormous trust into what Luke Beveridge has got through the middle of the ground. And the Giants, I thought that was a fabulous win. They were way too good for Hawthorn last week. Got to back it up again, though, against a team that knows this venue very, very well.
Yeah.
What's the game you're least confident about, if that's such a thing? What's the game that's hardest to pick today, do you think? So we've got 4 cracking games.
Geelong and Freo.
Yeah, you got no idea?
No idea.
Yeah.
Because Geelong can't be that bad again.
Surely not.
And Freo, who I have enormous respect for and tipped to be a top 4 team. First game, as we touched on, down at Cardinia Park. Always a challenge. So that's the one I've got no real read on.
I'm pretty close to that. I think you're right. Collingwood and Adelaide are interesting. Collingwood just seem to have what it's needed to beat Adelaide. And Adelaide's pre-season hasn't been great. If it plays chop and change as far as numbers going in and out of the side. Collingwood, the game under their belt. So that one should go that way. But even this one here, this one's pretty hard to pick. History says the Dogs have got hold of the Giants now, got hold of their game style. So that should work out. But, I think the one down at the Cardinia Park should be going to be a very, very interesting game. So I'm not convinced Geelong are now the side they were last year. And I'm only adding a year on the fact, and their pre-season, again, has been... I go a lot by pre-season. I think if you have injuries in pre-season, it does take a long time to get back. You've got Cameron and Dangerfield coming back in the side. Are they going to be as effective as they were last year? Big test.
Just listening to Adam Kingsley speaking during the week as well, he was chatting about their recent poor record against the Western Bulldogs, and said that they've reviewed round 17 from last year as well as last week in getting ready for this game.
Right.
So is that something you would do often as a coach when a team had the wood over you, looking back at recent matches against them to prepare for it?
Well, certainly, and also scout them as often as you can at training, just to see are they doing anything different. Whether you can get people in to watch their training these days, I'm not sure, but I would always have my forward scout. I think Johnny Woodruff, you would have been familiar with Johnny Woodruff. I started him at West Coast, and he was in Victoria at the time, and he would go and watch 4 weeks, what he could possibly do in 4 weeks of games with all 4 weeks of training, so he could get down as often as he could at different training venues against sides who we just wanted to know a little bit more about. So I'm a great believer in you don't go in there and go, oh no, this is our game, we're going to play our game, forget the others. No, my whole go was let's know the others and let's see if we can counter the others, and then we can build on what we play.
So how much are you telling the players about what you know as the coach? How much are you keeping for yourself just to have up on file?
No, I would say to my player group before the season started, I will supply you with every bit of information I possibly can on the player group. So you'll know Monday, that's the side to run in the race, and we'll give you 4 weeks of how they've played, in case there's any idiosyncrasies that have changed.
Yep.
I will look after the coach. I will tell you, I will study the coach to see whether he's an offense, defense. Like he coached against Malcolm Blight, you just knew it was.
Yep.
He couldn't. He would. I would say, and this is take it to extreme. He would turn and go, oh, "Who are we playing today?" He couldn't care. He just wanted the Adelaide run down the race or Geelong run down the race. That's my side, and he'd go, "Oh, okay, we're playing West Coast today." Whereas, so I'm the opposite. I would say, "Are we running down the race?" So I want to know what Geelong are doing. So,
Yep.
But my play group, getting back to what you're saying, no, I would have them. Very much on the strengths and weaknesses of the opposition, and do we try to exploit it and try to defend it. And you learn all the time. Drew Banfield was given Toby Bairstow, and he studied him all week. Bairstow didn't run down the race, but Banfield played the worst game because he was looking for his other opponent.
Bairstow, I think.
Yeah.
Mark,
Yeah, Toby's his son.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I think okay.
Toby will appreciate the shout out.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Great player in the
Sorry.
WAFL.
Anyway, so I learnt that lesson of going, you've got Bairstow, but also you may well have Couch or something like that. So multiple. So he has to study a couple of players in case he is thrown. In case he doesn't have a good day, and I have to move him anyway. So, no, we spend a lot of time on our opponents.
A couple of little subplots to all of this. Bont versus Toby Green. So they were teammates at Origin. They supposedly broke bread after Toby Green said, I'd never have a beer with him. I think they did, for whatever it's worth, at some point. I wonder how long that friendship will last by the time the game starts today.
He'd be fairly hostile, I would have thought, certainly from Toby's stance. And he'd spent a bit of time on ball too last week. It was good to see him up around the contest a bit more often. So they might come to blows earlier than later.
The other thing is, too, we're 13 days removed from 3 Ed Sheeran concerts here at Dockland Stadium. So that's a watch. It so far looks good. There's a few little patchy areas at the southern end on the 50-metre line, but we'll see if the slip and slide's on or whether the boys can keep their feet out here at Docklands, the first game of the new season under the roof. If you're wondering where Luke Ball and Adam Ramanauskas are, so are we. So I don't know what on earth what they thought. Maybe the early start to the season caught them out, but they're not here today. They will be as the season progresses.
The win for the listeners.
I was about to say, we got an upgrade with Daniel Harford and Mick Moldhouse. The pair of shaken hands.
Oh, just.
Yeah,
Really, it was frosty. It was a frosty one.
Game face on, the 2 number 4s, and Toby Green wins the toss, points to the southern end, which is the Coventry end. You wouldn't know it, though. The signs are still missing here at Docklands.
Not for long.
Our near 400-game umpire, Ray Chamberlain, is on the boundary. Good afternoon, Ray.
Good afternoon, gents. I'm looking forward to this today. GWS bullied Hawthorn in the midfield last week. They come up against a different proposition today. And I tell you what, I looked at a bit of tape during the week, Corby, and the rucks and the new ruck rules will be very interesting. Jake Riccardi couldn't help but give away a free kick every time he was in there last week. And obviously Tim English is a big, tall, jumping ruckman versus the physical bullocking Kieran Briggs. So I think there'll be a few ebbs and flows through the midfield, and I can't wait for this to get underway.
Have we done a good job so far, the third team out there with the new rules?
Listen, we're all feeling our way for the first 16 quarters in the season, I reckon. So I'll update you as we progress.
Ray, can I just ask you this question as an umpire? This new rule in the middle, who will it favour? What type of ruckman will it favour?
Yeah, Nick, the intention is to favour the taller jumping ruckman as opposed to the bullocking Lloyd Meek or
why is it intended to favour one?
You're a movie buff. Have you seen Dirty Dancing?
Oh,
so this is my dance space. That's your dance space. They want to separate them and not allow them to go across the line, Mick. And so if you get a clean run and jump at it, you should be able to get up and over the top of the bloke who's way down on the ground.
Nobody puts a razor into a corner.
Yes, half.
We're back on Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Can we get some firepower back in the Great Western? The Bulldogs and the Giants. You're with Ben Cameron.
Briggs and English. English wins down the tap. Briggs follows up with a soccer. Kennedy goes after it. He's tackled down at ground level by Cornelio. Ball jars free. Bontempelli at halfback. Picks it up. Away to Jakes. Under pressure. Clear and kick for the Dogs. Out towards the wing. Going up Bailey Williams. And Fonte right there with him. He carries it out. The man who was calling himself Fontempelli last year after his rising star nom will get a throw in on the wing.
Did we have the goal of the year last week?
Do you think it was, Mick?
Well, it was last week. I don't know how long it'll last, but I'll tell you what, it was a damn beauty.
Clubhouse leader, isn't it?
Boundary throw in. Briggs palms it down. Ball spits out the way of the Dogs. Scooped up here at halfback by Connor Butterick in his new colours. Kicks down the wing. Slides through to Iden. Hand pass away to Whitfield to Ash. Now to Green. Middle of the ground for the Giants. That's Toby. He's the only Green out there today. Comes wide to Cornelio, who marks between wing and half forward. Tom Green among 8 frontline players missing, and that is a bad kick from Cornelio. Slides out of bounds in front of Stringer. So the absentees for the Giants, and they'll be missing them for a minute. Sam Taylor, hamstring 6 to 8. Josh Kelly has had a hip reconstruction, the same one that Andy Murray had. There's no Darcy Jones, no Tom Green, no Bedford, no Cadman, no Daniels. So it's a long list.
Briggs slapping it down, threadbare. The Giants, no doubt about that. Beautiful day outside here in Melbourne. 24 degrees and sunny, but we're under the roof. Up it goes. English punches it away, falls at the feet of the pack. Over the top of it, Richards. So too Clayton Oliver. And we'll get another ball up 40 metres out from the attacking goal for the Giants.
It's an entry before from the Giants. The Dogs had a really strong assertive position. The last 3 defenders playing 5 metres in front of their opponents.
Briggs palms it down. Ball comes back towards Richards. Jams it on the boot. Kicks out to halfback. Ash can't keep it in front of him. Stolen away by Liberatore. Got the hand pass out. Straight to Callahan. Hand pass back into dispute to Toby. Tackled by Libber. Ball comes out. He's Cooper Hines. Goes back by hand to Sanders. That's just a dump kick forward. Might work out. West favoured by the bounce. Hand pass away to the Bont. The Bont's on the run from 55. Kicks to an unguarded goal square, but it's offline and rolls out of play. Boundary throw in forward pocket for the Bulldogs. John from West Footscray off the SMS 0437 774 774. Why isn't the roof open today? It's a great day outside. Welcome back for another AFL season. So, not happy. The roof stays shut here at Docklands.
Rama normally takes that position half, so it might have to be you today. He wants the roof open. 4:50 stoppage here for the Dogs. Holding free kick, it'll go to Darcy. Sam Darcy was being held by Briggs and he'll get the kick. 30 out, slight angle to the right.
There's a reason Rama's not here today on the back of that sort of stuff. He won't be back anytime soon.
Ray Chamberlain, what did you see there?
Yeah, so not held. Obviously in the ruck contest, you've got to have a nomination from each side, and we've got a little bit of third man traffic in there that got in the road of Sam Darcy, and hence the free kick paid.
It was Toby Green who got in the way.
That was silly play. I don't know why would you do that?
Absolutely.
Thanks, Ray. Sam Darcy on the approach. The drop punt is through the middle. And the red, white and blue chipper starts the season for the Western Bulldogs. 1 straight 6. I mean, they played last week, but it starts the day is what I'm going for. 1 straight 6. It's a no score for the opening few minutes. You're on Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
It's interesting in the way the Dogs played, not necessarily that goal, but the way the ball went into the forward line, because they had virtually everyone up the ground, even though the ball was sort of at the 50-metre mark of Giants. Because when Bontempelli picked that ball and had a kick, no one in front of him.
Yep.
So they've dragged all that. So they're obviously trying to get in behind the defence, which in this case it worked, but it's an interesting tactic. See if it continues.
Yeah, but as you say, a stupid thing to do from Toby Green to run in the way of the ruckman.
First goal for the Dogs, back in the middle off a series of hands, racing away with Callahan. There's a free kick. It's going English as well.
Well, a ruck. It'd be interesting to see what.
Get the ray on that. Kick inside the forward 50. Hands on it from West. Not the piece. He's tackled by Iden. Spills to a pack behind him. Caught in all of that is Fraser, and we'll have the ball up. Somewhat running gate to the Bont. Joel Frazier. They're hoping he can develop into half of that as Kennedy gives it away to the man right on cue. The bomb of his preferred left boot bangs it through. Stoppage goal for the Dogs. They've got the first two. And alarm bells in the coach's box for Adam Kingsley and the Giants. 5 minutes into the opening term. Bulldogs 2 straight 12. Giants yet to score. No late change. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
It'd be interesting to see this stoppage. I've got to say I'm blinded at the moment, but out of the centre square for a start off was interesting. Oh, yeah, just no one. Just looking at the aftermath of that, the distribution of the Giants players was all on one side. And just left him out.
Well, he's the last guy you can do that. So I mean, you've got to pick your targets in that scenario, Mick, as much as anything else. And where's Bontempelli? Forward 50. Where's Bontempelli? Just make sure you've got some level of sight on him.
Ball on him.
Yep.
Yeah, no one there.
And sit on his left hip, so he's got to go right.
Restart in the middle. English tapping it down. Sanders in there for the Dogs. Stories of him wanting more midfield time this week. Toby Green picks it up. Tumbles the Giants inside 50. Selwood gathers. Gives it off to Bailey-Dale. Dogs across their half-back line. Sanders through traffic. Runs into trouble. Turns it over. Delana comes up with it. Off to Cornelio. Short kick. Right onto the chest of Stringer. 15 out. Slight angle to the right.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame the backline player off Stringer there. His first step was towards the goal line because I'm sure that Giants player who kicked that was actually aiming for a snap on goal. Stringer.
Riley Sanders just hesitated, had some options to feed the ball off to.
Yeah.
Tried to take him on, got caught.
You want to play in the middle, you've got to be very, very precise with that disposal.
The last time the Giants beat the Dogs here, Stringer was playing for the Dogs. And he tugs this hard left and misses the lot.
Looked like it.
That's a shocking miss.
To keep that record intact the way that went.
Yeah.
Too close to the man on the mark and just the angle the way he kicked it.
20 metres out.
Terrible.
Just everything.
Oh, shocking.
Dale brings the footy back into plays. Let the feathers grow out in the off-season. Bailey Dale gives it to Buku Karmas, who kicks it too long.
It's a luxury for some.
Over the head of Norton, and Laverty takes the intercept mark. Short laterally to Iden. 12-point buffer. First 2 goals for the Bulldogs. Giants still yet to score after that wild miss. Back and across here to Himmelberg. He powers up, kicks long inside 50, spills through to Frazier though with the Bulldogs, hand pass to Buku, gives it off to Williams, off the back flank, kicks down the wing, and that'll be a mark, leaping in the air. It was a spoil originally from Laverty, and in the end he turns it into a chest mark on the way down.
A former Don chips it into the pocket, up goes Stringer again, hands to it, lob in front of him, out of play, throw in. 30 around from the attacking goal for the Giants.
Yeah, the Giants are going to have to be very careful about how they bring the ball in. The Dogs are getting so many players back, blocking up. They know that Hogan's going to be a real danger to them, and that's just hoping that he marks the football instead of going around the 50-metre line, just trying to find that space.
Dogs with the first 2 goals of the game. They lead by that margin. Butterick mops up back pocket for the Dogs. Off to Kennedy, to O'Donnell. High clearing kick. Up to a contest on the wing. Darcy halves it. Brings it down at ground level. Tries to follow up. Eventually wins the footy. Shovels out a handball. That's a turnover. Giants ball. Ash on the logo. Chisels a kick. Nearly works out. Skips through everyone inside 50.
Selwood collects it. Centre half back. Oh, no, he doesn't. Fumbles into the path of O'Halloran, and he makes him pay. And X gives it to him. Pops it through the middle. 8 minutes into the opening term. The Giants on the board for the first time. 1 straight. They trail the Western Bulldogs 2 straight. 6-point game. 8 minutes in. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Daniel Harford and Mick Mulhouse.
Well, it's really only been through errors at the moment the Giants have been able to get any clean ball inside their forward 50. It was Riley Sanders initially when Jack Stringer had the set shot for goal and the overrun there from Selwood that created opportunity for O'Halloran. So outside of that, they've been pretty good in locking out the Giants, as you said, Mick, getting numbers back, but locking out their ability to find any free space inside that forward 50. I do love the way they're setting up defensively. So the ball's outside the arc for the Giants are trying to get in. The Doggies defenders sit in front.
Yeah.
The ball's inside the arc, they'll go back shoulder.
Yeah.
So it's a different setup.
Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Out of the middle, Bontempelli tracking after the footy. He's under the pump though. Right there with him is Rouston. Still going after it, Riley Sanders. Frazier gets involved and eventually it's out on the City side of the ground. A throw-in coming.
Dogs wearing black armbands today to honour those we've lost in recent times. Highlight to Dennis Cometti, Phoenix Spicer, Doug Reynolds and Angus Abbey. So that's a comment from the Western Bulldogs on their social media channels moments ago. So That's the reason for the black armbands today for the Dogs.
And a lot of people might wonder about the connection between Dennis Cometti and the Western Bulldogs. He played a season for Footscray in 1971, played in the reserves and remained a Western Bulldogs fan. Bontempelli with the clearance. High tumbling ball to full forward. Darcy can't mark. Goes again at ground level. Himmelberg comes over. Richards arrives for the Dogs. Runs into trouble. Snaps it back towards the corridor. Kennedy nearly. Riccardi there for the Giants. They're under the pump. Back pocket. Iden gets rid of it. Away towards Toby Green. And then a clearing kick. High ball towards the defensive 50.
They come from all directions. 3 Giants collide in the air. Staying down for the Dogs. Williams got a hand pass away to Dale, to Kennedy. Ball by hand. Gives it to Hines. Kick smothered. Riccardi comes up with it. Hand pass to Himmelberg for the Giants. To Ralston. Hand pass out further wide to Ash. The Witten medalist. Long kick to half forward. Brown at the drop takes the mark.
Yeah, a bit slow.
Karmas in front of Stringer. Didn't want to pull the trigger. It was going to be too long in the air.
Short and wide to Angwin. First round pick from 2020 now, Ryan Angwin, in his 32nd game. The 23-year-old goes back to Riccardi. Is that the required distance? Just, said the umpire, and he'll have a shot here from right half forward.
Well, it's probably not 15 minutes. Nonetheless, the Dogs went to sleep. They've pushed everyone through the corridor. They've left the most obvious... If you're going to crowd the corridor, no one's going to kick it there. So the next one, they're going to look for someone shorter, and they've done it beautifully on this occasion.
Jake Riccardi off contract at season's end. He's been playing plenty of ruck minutes. He shows his natural skill as a forward. Slams it straight through the middle. And we got a tie game. 12 minutes in, 2 straight 12 apiece. Saturday footy on ABC Sport with Daniel Harford and Mick Malthouse.
It's amazing what happens when you're out of contract, Mick.
Yeah.
Good start for him this year, and Stringer, of course, last week. Both players out of contract, but he's a really versatile player. I quite like Jake Riccardi. He gets up the ground, pushes hard back. He's more than capable in the air, as we know. Spending some time in the ruck as well, but I like the way he plays, and he's probably a bit more enigmatic than I reckon Adam Kingsley would like, but there's a lot to like about him when he's on.
Yeah, I'm with you. He's a vital part of their setup, because he can play right in the goal square. He can play where he's playing. He can play out of there. He doesn't get in the road of Hogan. No, I like the way he goes about it.
Goes into the ruck here, opposed to Sam Darcy.
Good luck.
Umpire puts it aloft. Darcy wins the tap down. Clearance from Callaghan though for the Giants. Bouncing ball. Jakes tracks it back for the Western Bulldogs. Handball to Dale at centre half back. Away to Lobb. Lobb will kick a high ball into the middle of the ground. Darcy's there. Up he goes. Like a praying mantis. He reaches up and takes the mark. Now he kicks to full forward. Iden's down there wrestling with West. Comes down, the quick shot from Hines. Tumbles goalward. It bounces like a Shane Warne leg break. Tumbles out. Misses a lot. Throwing coming. Scores level. Left forward pocket for the Dogs. 12.5 in.
He's dangerous, isn't he, Darcy, around the ground? Because how do you match up in the air with him? I think it's a good release to let him have a little bit of his a time up in the midfield.
12 points apiece. Boundary throwing. The Bont doing the ruck work against Riccardi. Spills down in front of Libber in the pocket. Hand pass away to Richards off the left peg. Kicks to full forward. Hines floating through. No mark on the line. Did he get boot to ball? Baker? No. Knocked through for a rush behind. Baker's not confident.
We'll have a look.
We're going to the arc.
To the eye, it felt like it was slapped to the ground and bounced over. We're a long way from the action, of course.
Certainly didn't celebrate. This is going to be hard to tell on the frame that we've got at the moment whether the studs had clipped the ball or not. Baker reacted like he didn't feel anything.
Yeah, you're right.
He needed to sell it more, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, on the back of the evidence we've got at the moment, he'd just about get away with it if he sold it.
Yeah.
The sell could have been the key to the whole thing.
Does it look like he's out of the early 70s?
It's just, he's got the wide headband on with the big moustache, the handlebars moustache.
I reckon he's missed that.
Great Chamberlain on the boundary.
I'll tell you what he did sell well. He sold the block for Darcy's mark in the middle of the ground well. Yes. I know we spoke about the one earlier in the week, but
there's a gap
go and
there.
Compare the pair.
Good pick-up, Ray.
There's the gap. No touch.
There we go. Review complete.
The GWS defender last to the goal line. Decision on the scoreboard.
All over it.
Not out. Keep your review.
Yes. So first behind of the game, it'll be 2-1 to 2 straight. Bulldogs by that point. 14 minutes in. They kicked the first 2 of the game. The Giants kicked the last 2. Giants all in orange, by the way, in their clash strip today. They got the outline of the G in white trim and the white shorts.
It's a bit training jumperish, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Short kick from Whitfield to Himmelberg. He'll get it back with Whitfield. Giants inside their D50. Baker smothers the kick. Can't follow it up. It goes to Himmelberg. He gets rid of it to Thomas. Half-back flank now the Giants. High ball to a contest on the wing. Up they go. Riccardi. Yeah. Sticky fingers. Comes down with the mark.
It's against Darcy. It's 1-on-1 against Darcy. Pushed him out of the ball.
Riccardi comes infield for Ash. Giants still on the centre line and looking to switch. Here's Iden going for a little gallop. Gives it off to Fonte. Running through the logo. He'll poke a kick up to half-forward. Overcooks it, and Davidson intercept marks for the Dogs on the back flank.
A clear agenda from the Giants from half-back. Everything's trying to get back through the middle of the ground. Short Dogs defend.
Short to Fraser. Hand pass away towards Dale. Now a sequence of handballs. Pass through the hands of the debutant Will Lewis in all of that. Trying to get it back to Dale. They've coughed it up. Here's Cornelio. Shoots a hand pass forward. Green collects. Shakes a would-be tackle. Hand pass inside 50. Gothard the target. Becomes tackler though on lob as he picks up the footy, and Gothard's still on him. The little man fighting on, outsized, and the ball ends up out of play. So throw in here 45 metres out from the Giants' goal. Phoenix Gothard, great name.
Excellent name.
Who we know well, Ben. He played for the Augers.
Not our first time calling Phoenix Gothard, is it, Corbin? Called him in the O&M Grand Final a couple of years ago. Clearing kick from Liberatore for the Dogs, up to the wing, and Darcy a chest mark. Called to play on, so he wheels and goes. Kicks into the middle of the ground, looking for West. Over his head, Iden back there for the GWS Giants. Handball to Buckley, now to Ash. Defensive edge of the square. Goes for a little gallop. Wants to switch it. Out for Angwin on the wing. Running towards half-forward. Forward handball to Toby Green. Looks inside 50. Short kick is perfect. And Hogan on the lead. He marks 25 out, worse than a 45-degree angle.
So there's a couple of things there. The Dogs need to be aware that the Giants are keeping an anchor in place all the time. So one of their players is sitting back behind everything. It's Buckley, it's Iden, whoever it might be at any given time. So you can't do that Darcy play and just roll and kick to space, hoping someone's going to be there by themselves or one-on-one. And then absolutely clear as day that the Giants are trying to bring the ball from one side to the other and shift the defence of the Bulldogs every time they get the ball in centre forward, which you love, Mick, centre forward.
Kicked his 400th goal in AFL footy last week. Was goalless in the last meeting between these two sides, though. Hogan stabs at it across the face. A minor score, scores level, 2-1-13 each of 2, 17 minutes into the opening term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Dale, short kick out to Liberatore. 13 points apiece, 17 minutes in. Libba strolls off from the back flank now, kicks down the wing. Oh, big mark from Briggs, floating through in a pack of 4, rips it down. Briggs goes short, back and across to Himmelberg.
Yeah, you're right, Half. All they're trying to do is just do that little bit of circle work, get the ball away from the corridor early, where the Dogs occupy, and then try to bring it back.
Iden Callahan and now out to Fonte, all short kicking game. Short further afield finds Ash. Between wing and half forward. 13 points apiece, 17 and a half minutes in. Ash into a crowded forward 50 at the Coventry end. Underneath it, Selwood slides off hands. Hogan got it through to Brown. He sockers it off the deck and it's through for a behind. It's in near side. The Irishman. 1 point lead for the Giants. First time they put their nose in front. 18 minutes in. No late change here at Docklands. Dogs, Giants.
Bailey-Dale brings it into Kennedy, looking for Davidson, coughs it up. Clayton Oliver wins it for the Giants. High tumbling ball to full forward. Hogan, leaping chest mark, doesn't complete it. Whistle, free kick.
High contact. I reckon it was too.
High contact, did you say? Oh, okay. All right.
Yep, I think it was.
But he's in. The thing is, he's in front.
That's to kick infield, short for Briggs.
Oh.
Not the required distance. Briggs has to go and doesn't make the distance on the snap. They made a meal of that, the GWS Giants, and Jakes can repel.
Lockie Jakes in his second game goes out wide to Baker, pokes his kick down the wing, finds Fraser. Boundary line city side. Good build up from the Dogs. Fonte just gave a clean shove to West. Can't do that. Free kick. And West to take it. Moves it on quickly by hand to Williams. Handball out towards the boundary line. Baker collects, steps his way around Fonte. Floats a kick inside 50. Tough one for anyone to mark. Whitfield smothers it to the direction of Iden. Back to Whitfield for the Giants. Hand pass looking for Callahan. And it's knocked out of play by Sanders. Forces a boundary throw in forward pocket for his Bulldogs.
Yeah, I reckon the Dogs just need to just take some
deep breath.
Yeah,
I do too. They're not using their brains up the other end, are they?
Yep, I reckon you're right. own the ball for a bit, just hold it, wait for some numbers to get
create something as opposed to just, blast it away and hope.
Giants leading by a point. Lewis, the debutant, doing some of the ruck work there for the Dogs. Ball doesn't clear the pack and we'll get another ball up.
The old hope kick doesn't really work out against good sides.
Mick Malthouse and Daniel Harford breaking it all down for you. Briggs double palms it down. Jakes just slaps it out. Fonte keeps it moving forward and eventually Oliver's involved. Backfeeds a handball away to Ash. Finn Callaghan receives it from him. Looks to use his dash. He'll kick towards half forward. Brown is down there, comes at the footy, runs underneath it. And Davidson back there for the Dogs, but he's being corralled, so he soccers to advantage.
Tending to get it to Bramble. He's buffeted off it. Picked up now by Brown, looking for the safety to the boundary line and crosses almost like a rugby union try. Gets his way there. Corbin Middlemass alongside Ben Cameron, Ray Chamberlain on the boundary, Mick Malthouse, Daniel Harford, your call team, Saturday footy on ABC Sport. It's a 1 point lead for the Giants. For the boundary throwing, Briggs trying to grab it out of the ruck, spills it, Liberatore, hand pass down to half back for the Giants, Rouston clever, Wayne Harms-esque, just whacks it on to Gothard, pulls the kick back to full forward, Karmas can't take the sprawling mark, picked up by O'Halloran, gives it away to Hogan, handball to Stringer, tackled, dispossessed. The Bulldogs come up with it, quick hands in all of that from Sanders, but it ends up out of play. So a throw in forward pocket for the G-men, Ray Chamberlain.
In GWS, a little bit of a sloppy start with a couple of free kicks and a missed shank on goal, and Mick and Harf have been talking about their system. I can't help but be impressed by their tackle pressure and effort on the ball. I feel like their bit of work rate's got them back into this game.
The Dogs working it out through hands across the back flank. Butterick in his new colours, shoveling a handball forward to Bailey Williams. He moves it on to Kennedy. Kennedy kicks around the boundary line and it's well weighted. West sliding into mark, kicks infield. A good one for Bramble. Bramble to Bontempelli, loops it to Liberatore, off to Fraser, over the top, Oscar Baker, game 50, fires on goal, kicks it! Oscar Baker, a story of persistence. 9 years in the system for 50 games. And the Bulldogs, they take back the lead. 3-1-19, plays 2-2-14. 22 minutes into the opening term.
Well, I don't think it'd be a worry that Baker kicks the goal. It was outstanding football by Dogs in releasing the right player at the right time. They didn't overdo it, even though there was probably 4 or 5 hand passes, but each one of them was persistently consistent with getting the ball into the right spot until it finished off with Baker. So really well done. And it's very hard. Doesn't matter how good the side is against you.
Yeah.
If you move it like that, and I think they defend pretty well, the Giants, you got no hope. It's just picking the right target.
Pretty cool story, isn't it? 27-year-old, drafted in 2017, debuted in 2019. 15 games with Melbourne and now 35 with the Dogs. He plays his 50th game here in 2026. Clean out of the middle from the Bulldogs. The Bont's on the end of it. Kicks to full forward. Iden knocks it away from West. Into the back flank. Finds Fonte. Just chips it short to Thomas. This is Harvey Thomas, the 20-year-old left half back for the Giants. 5-point lead for the Bulldogs. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Short kick to Whitfield. Whitfield pokes it down the line. Rouston the target. Close to the boundary. Doesn't go out. Intercepted by the Dogs. O'Donnell gives it to Sanders and gets it back. Now inside 50. Norton leaping up and marking. And that's when he's at his best. Gets a run at the footy and pulls it down.
Really good from James O'Donnell to get that ball back on the outer side centre wing. He made a decision. We're going to get 50 metres too here.
I think Norton's just gone inboard and found the Bont, which is ordinarily a good option. So the skipper's got it right half forward, still 40 out.
James O'Donnell can absolutely get big high fives from the coaching staff a quarter time. That was left his opponent, came back at the ball, one possession, get a ball inside forward 50 really quickly.
Certainly move at the Dogs when they're up and going. They've got threats across every line. Marcus Bontempelli for his second. Straight through it goes. And the dominant, smooth-moving midfielder shows he's got plenty of tricks up front. 5 goals in 2 games, in 5 quarters of footy for Bontempelli. 24 minutes into the opening term, the Dogs 4-1. They lead the Giants 2-2. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
I love what he's capable of doing. We know he's been a star around the contest for years. But this new evolution, this new opportunity for him and the Bulldogs, such a good size athlete, let alone his presence around the contest and his football smarts. But he's a guy you want to get the ball in the hands of in the scoring zones, because he doesn't make too many bad decisions or have poor execution very often at all. So that's a great opportunity for the Dogs, I reckon, this year.
Half, when he goes to a stoppage in the forward line as a forward, that halfback really on him has got no idea, really. So they've got to be careful about that.
Dogs out of the middle again. Sanders away to Kennedy. Low driving ball to full forward. Beats the pack and skips out of bounds. Left forward pocket. Throwing coming for the Dogs. They kicked the first two. The Giants kicked the next two, and the Dogs have kicked the last two in the game.
Yeah, now this is a classical case here. His halfback has come up to him, at Bontempelli that is, at a stoppage. So in fact, has he been double teamed? No, he's not.
Forward 50 stoppage for the Dogs. English down towards Oscar Baker. Fires out the handball. The snap on goal from Hines. It'll bounce through. It's all coming up the Dogs at the moment. They lead by 17 points. 5-1-31 plays 2-2-14. 25 and a half into the opening term.
Well, it's a couple of goals from forward 50 stoppage too so far this quarter, let alone the free kick that Darcy got early, Mick. So that's 3 inside forward 50 that they've been able to get straight away in this game. It's broken the game open in the last couple. 3 goals in 4 minutes. It's giving them a nice little buffer, but it's their work around the contest. Doesn't have to be Bontempelli. Fraser's having a role. Baker's getting involved. And that's a great finish from Hines. That's really well done, but they're really good around the contest. The Giants have been a better open play team at the moment, but contest-wise, I reckon it's been...
Oh, yeah, contested possessions. What is that there, Corby? I can't...
30-23, so plus 7 Dogs.
There you go, yeah.
Leading possession getters on the ground, Bontempelli with 9, Toby Green with 8. As you'd expect, the stars for both teams, the two skippers. And there's Green to get himself to 9. First possession at the restart to Oliver. Handball away to Riccardi. He gives it to Fonte off the back edge of the square, all by hand. Hand pass forward to Oliver. Kicks it inside 50. Punched away by Selwood. Back pocket now for the Dogs. Buku taken out of bounds. Good tackle from Stringer. Forces it out of play. Karmas bounces back up. No late change coming in. A huge Saturday of footy. You'll hear it all here on ABC Sport. Cats, Dockers to come tonight. Different directions. Either the Swans and the Lions or the Pies and the Crows. And the boundary throw in. Oliver. Through it, said the umpire. Trying to get it out. So free kick's going to come back to Ed Richards. What a player he's become. Victorian representative, All-Australian. Had 30 last week. 16 of them led to scores. Back to Karmas. Karmas away to young Jakes, and he turns that over, trying to come out of the defensive 50. Picked up here by Hogan. Short kick to Riccardi. The Dogs getting numbers back to try and fill up the Giants forward 50. O'Halloran with the footy now 60 out right half forward.
Sets it up towards full forward. Karmas with the running jump at it. Takes the mark at fullback.
That doesn't look like working, that entry for the Giants so far this quarter.
He goes short to English. He goes short again and turns it over. Phoenix Gothard jumps up out of the ground and marks 45 metres out. Slight angle to the right.
That's what does work. Wait for the error. Done that a couple of times. Well, they forced the error. Haven't waited for it. They forced the error and give themselves a look to get the ball back really quickly. But the long bomb in isn't working. You touched on it earlier, Nick. It's not working at the moment for the Giants.
They picked 12 back in 2023. Had to wait until last week for a debut and kick the match-winning goal. Phoenix Gothard stutters past 50. His drop punt is looking pretty good. Just swinging right at the end. Just a narrow miss to the near side. So the Bulldogs lead by 16 points. 3 minutes away from quarter time. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
I mentioned that Ovens and Murray grand final. He was in the Albury Tigers unit that year. Connor O'Sullivan from Geelong, of course, was part of that team, and so was Riley Bice. And Sanders marks it at centre half back, gives it to Dale, kicks up over halfway. It's going to slide through to Richards. Handball goes back to Bontempelli, and that natural left boot straight into the chest of Davidson. Nice work defensively. Covered off by Thomas, knocks it away. Giants rebound. Laverty got it from Ash, gives it back to Thomas, kicks along the boundary line, and here's O'Halloran.
Did they win that grand final?
They didn't. They lost to the Pigeons, only just.
Coached by Stevie J.
The Yarrawonga team, and it was a hell of a grand final. It was like 13 lead changes. Picked up here by Lob, who takes the intercept mark in front of the benches. think Mickey Gibbons played, didn't he, for Yarrawonga?
So did Jeff Garlett was playing for Albury.
Jeff Garlett.
It was a hell of a grand final. We're lucky to be there as Lob goes down to half forward, and we've got a ball up here, left half forward for the Dogs.
One of your boys, Mick, Jeffy Garlett?
Yeah, had him for a while, yeah. Yep.
16-point lead for the Bulldogs, half-hour mark, opening term.
Actually had a chance to win that grand final late, but missed a shot on goal. Oliver gets rid of it to O'Halloran, kicks around the boundary line. Karmas punches it away. Out of bounds, and the Broadway mauler, he is everywhere. Early on in this game, Buku Karmas, and that was a point of their pre-season, the Dogs. They worked a lot on spoiling, apparently.
Well,
spoiling position, which hand to use.
They've worked well tonight. Today. Really worked well. But mind you, having said that, the ball has been put above the head of their direct opponent.
Ruck free kick, advantage applied, going the Dogs' way as Frazier takes it. He's going to kick into open space on that City wing. Doc Davidson's out after it. They overrun it. Near knockback towards the Dogs' advantage there. Firstly by James towards the advantage of Selwood. Now caught underneath the two young Dogs, and the ump says, I'll have it.
It's good from Selwood.
Yeah,
that ball got out.
The made one mistake. That kick, was it?
Yep.
Handball.
Ball up City wing. English knocks it forward, but straight into the path of Finn Callahan. And share it along the boundary line. In fact, there's a free kick here.
What? I can only think that he got grabbed.
Yeah. Need a little
so he couldn't defend it. Yeah.
That was four. So Bontempelli picks up the footy right on the wing for the Dogs.
Short to Davidson. Davidson looks inside attacking 50 towards full forward. Bouncing ball. Lewis is there, the debutant. O'Halloran comes across and paddles it out. Throw in 35 around from the attacking goal for the Dogs. Ray Chamberlain.
I'd like to see a replay of that free kick. Just off the ball, swinging arm. If it was a closed fist, it might be a closer look.
Yeah, something that Greg Swan has highlighted. Something they're certainly keeping their eyes on a little closer this year.
And Dogs. All four, by the way. Stop whacking blokes.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward.
Dogs by 16 points. Darcy trying to take it out of the ruck. Fonte taken down in a tackle. All upcoming.
So Adam Kingsley's got some work to do at contest at quarter time. He's got to reset that. He's Stanley beaten in contested possession, but also clearances around the ground. 12-3 in favour of the Bulldogs.
Darcy slapping it down. Richards trying to extract it. Gets it out towards West. Now Bailey Williams goes back to his namesake. Bailey Dale runs into a cul-de-sac. Caught holding the ball. Joe Delana got him.
This is where Oliver's got to step up with these stoppages. They've got Captain Green going there, but that's only short-lived. So Oliver really is the one that's got to put his nose over it.
Just on those contest numbers as well, Adam Kingsley spoke in his midweek press conference about the fact that they were minus 50 in the contest numbers in the last meeting. So something they've tried to address, but history repeating, half you're all over it. As Oliver takes a contested mark on the wing for the Giants.
This is the phase they're actually winning. In between the arcs, with ball in hand in open play, they're actually winning this phase of the game. They can't.
Till the 50-metre line.
Yeah, that's right. So that's a problem, their entries, but also around the scrimmage, they've been soundly beaten as well.
Now, this is on 50. And have a look at the Dogs. They've got 4 players outside the 50. So they've got 14. Well, you can't pass it off now, but they had 14 players inside the back 50. Now they've got 16. Make that 16.
So they complete the switch, and Himmelberg shorts it to Toby Green, who's marked it 51 metres out as the siren sounds for quarter time.
Was he logging the talk? I think he's going to go talk.
I think he'll kick it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I reckon he's better than him.
Darcy's got to reach like a sick dog. He's on the goal line.
English is on the mark as well, so we need a high launch angle.
Oh.
He kicks it into the man on the mark.
Great play. Tim English on the mark is underrated.
Yeah, too right. You've got to go over him.
Underrated because he knows he's got to stretch to get there.
So you got that one
on the goal line,
and he can't play on.
Yep.
So you got someone on the mark, and you've got Darcy on the goal line. So you got to go 53, 54 metres.
That was shrewd from the Dogs, wasn't it?
Game awareness.
Smart. Yep, very smart.
Little things to the big
smart
things,
dogs.
They certainly are. The goal kickers, 2 to Bontempelli, then singles to Hines, to Darcy, and to Oscar Baker in game number 50 for the Giants. O'Halloran and Riccardi, their goal kickers.
Off the SMS, which is 0437 774 774. Shout out to Laurel in Rushworth. Good afternoon, team. With you for the weekend as usual. It's my happy time. Thanks, Laurel. Lovely to hear from you. 0437 774 774. Neil in Coburg. Just tuned in for 2026. Welcome back, 774. The best no-hype call of the game.
Oh,
is that a compliment? Or is that a little backhander?
No, you've got to get a bit more animated.
Right.
That's good feedback.
Is it Ben or you, Corby, who's having a shot?
I don't know. We're trying to hype. I don't think we're trying to not hype.
I think he means we don't overdo it.
He's been a bit boring in fairness, but that's fine.
Cool to go. Gee, I hope my Kangaroos do better this year from Neil. Thanks, Neil. Appreciate that. One from Sia from Tasmania. Great interview with the CEO. Aside from his inability to convincingly answer any of Mick's questions. Keep sitting on the fence, Corbin.
Oh,
what'd you do? You get the drive-by.
And you actually read that out. If it was bad, you don't read them out, Corby. Give him a flick.
I feel a little bit like that meme, where the desk is open to basically I'll argue with anyone. It's like, I'm happy to send them through if you want. Sia, I can. What do you want an opinion on? I'll try and shoot some off if we can.
Come on, you're taking that to heart.
I was going to say, I'm also. Is it ironic? Is it saying I'm giving too many opinions when I should leave it for someone else? Happy to clarify.
No, you keep going, mate.
0437 774 774.
You've taken it so well.
It's nice to be back on Saturday afternoon footy. Back by popular demand. This is Saturday footy on ABC Sport. The thoughts of Harf and Mick coming up in just a moment. Dogs by 16 points. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Rumours, cults, secret identities, and one of Australia's most baffling unsolved mysteries.
Something wasn't right.
It's the latest season of the Expanse podcast. Search for Expanse, the Nan Up 4 on ABC Listen.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Selwood collects it, centre half back. Oh, no, he doesn't. Fumbles into the path by Halloran and he makes him pay. And X gives it to him. Pops it through the middle.
Kennedy kicks around the boundary line and it's well weighted. West sliding into mark, kicks infield. A good one for Bramble. Bramble to Bontempelli. Loops it to Liberatore. Off to Fraser. Over the top. Oscar Baker. Game 50. Fires on goal. Kicks it.
O'Donnell gives it to Sanders and gets it back. Now inside 50. Norton leaping up and marking. And that's when he's at his best, gets a run at the footy and pulls it down. Norton's just gone inboard and found the Bont, which is ordinarily a good option. So the skipper's got it right half forward, still 40 out. Marcus Bontempelli for his second. Straight through it goes.
50 stoppage for the Dogs. English down towards Oscar Baker, fires out the handball. The snap on goal from Hines. It'll bounce through. It's all coming up the Dogs at the moment.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
Dogs with the first two, Giants with the next two, Dogs with the last three. Quarter time here on Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Western Bulldogs by 16. 5-1-31, GWS 2-3-15. The thoughts of Mick Malthouse and Daniel Harford for your Saturday afternoon here on ABC Sport.
Well, the thoughts are good game of football, really good game of football, open game of football. I'd be surprised there's a lot of tackles. There's not a lot of one-on-one stuff outside of when the ball hits the 50-metre mark at the Giants' end, then the Dogs go to work on their individual opponent, but get flooded with a lot of numbers by the Dogs. They're working overtime. They're starting actually a long way up the ground, so it's a lot easier to get there. We've discussed, Harf and myself discussed this before or inside the break there, that there's 11 to 15 inside 50. So the Dogs are really capitalising, just going over 50%, which is quite high against a good defence, a good backline defence. On the other side of the coin, you've got 5 shots out of 15, so that's 33%. So not capitalising at all. I would say that if there's one issue to pick up, outside of the fact that the stoppage work has been really, really brutal for the Dogs, of just murdering them, if that can swing around, even if it goes to 50-50, the other side of it is the execution of the ball from, say, 65 metres to 50-metre line, finding a target as opposed to just bombing it in. Because I initially thought when I first came to the game, I thought, well, who's going to play on Hogan? Well, clearly Lobb is, and doing a good job. Stringer had a one shot for goal, a dismal shot for goal after his heroics last week. So that's been covered off pretty well. Riccardi's probably their most dangerous forward, and he's not spending a lot of time down there. However, when you've got some good quality kickers outside the front 50, I don't reckon they're using the ball well enough, the Giants. And that, if they can pick that up, because they're not getting the football, this game could turn for them. but it's a big ask.
Yeah, so some of the numbers that are a problem, like 15-8 clearance in favour of the Dogs, 36-30 to contested possession. So we've talked about their grunt around. They've had 32 uncontested marks to 17, the Giants. So they're getting the ball.
Yep.
But that goal to Riccardi is a bit of a blueprint about how they can work. Just hit that little spot up at 40 metres as opposed to going long all the time and put the pressure on the Dogs. But Bontempelli's a problem. 10-2 in the first quarter.
He's got it again here. Kicks across the ground to English. Start of the second quarter. Hand pass away to Sanders. Kicks long up front. And Richards drops in the hole, takes the mark left half forward for the Bulldogs.
And that's a midfielder. I'm sure Richards has come out of the midfield. So are the Giants working hard enough back? I would say no. Richards can find space at 40 metres out and his man trails him in. There's a lack of interest or a lack of work.
It's had 11 in the opening term for the Bont, as half mentioned. Same numbers for Green, 11, minus the 2 goals. Here's Ed Richards from about 49 metres out, kicks right to the goal line, comes off a series of hands, doesn't go through, kept alive by West. Hand pass goes back to Fraser, back to West, runs into 2 Giants, caught, took on the tacklers, lost, holding the ball.
Good decision.
And Whitfield and Ralston are going to be rewarded, so it'll be the Giants' free kick. Lockie Whitfield's going to take it deep in defence for GWS.
Handball away to Wyden. Slightly bereft for the time being, pokes it short to Coniglio. Only had more than 20 disposals once last year. 22 in opening round last week for Steve Coniglio.
And 2 goals.
A handy player. Good leader.
Kicks to the contest on the wing. Slapped on by Stringer very cleverly. Hogan's handball misses Callaghan. He soccers to his own advantage. Bontempelli right there with him. Callaghan paddles again. Now gets a handball back into the corridor. Inside 50 in the forward pocket for the Giants. The Dogs are back there. English mops up to lob to Bontempelli. Worried out of it. Callaghan pinches it and goes.
Yeah, brilliant.
Gee, that's reward for effort, isn't it?
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
The younger model steals it from Bontempelli and kicks the goal. And the Giants get the first of the second term. 5-1-31 plays 3-3-21, 2 minutes in. Mick Malthouse and Daniel Harford.
Daniel, just looking at that, it was a great goal, a really great goal, but I'm not going to say it was a fluke by any stretch because he worked that hard. But the number of Dogs players that got back as opposed to Giants in that first part of that second quarter was quite amazing. I would say they almost had 50. Oh no, I won't say 15. Let's say 12 players back inside the back 50 order. So they are really trying to defend with numbers because the big hang on them last year was, they can score and they are bullies, but they can't defend. And they did very well against Brisbane last week. That was a great goal by Callaghan, make no mistake. But Dogs still had numbers there.
It's automatic, isn't it? So it's in their brain. They've got to get back and help.
Yep.
English wins the hit out. The Giants come up with it though. Callaghan got it away towards Ralston, who then flares it wide for the Font.
Tell you what they've done pretty well too, the Dogs. When they've had the kick mark game, the Giants, they haven't allowed the overlap handball. They've shut that handball down.
Fonty short to Harvey Thomas, who goes long inside 50. Hands on it from Briggs, no marks. Bills down to Dale. Handball to Butterick. Hand pass outside of the defensive 50 for the Dogs. Picked up in all of that by Toby Green, who's taken a fair bit of the paint from the 50-metre mark with him. And now there's a free kick in all of that. It's going to be high contact, and it's going Butterick's way. Suns Academy prospect.
He was so good last week, Butterick.
Wasn't he? Yeah. Nice player. Grew up on the Gold Coast. His dad, though, played league footy for Glenelg, so South Australian family origins originally. As the kick here from Kennedy goes down towards half forward, keeping it in front of him, paddled away by Richards, but runs into a dead end. Norton knocks it away to Fraser. He's tackled, taken to ground by Whitfield, so ball up half forward for the Bulldogs. Dogs by 10 points. They led by 17 late in the opening term. We're now early in the second.
Briggs laying it down. Fraser pinches it, tackled to ground.
I know this has got nothing to do with the game. Is the crowd a bit shallow and lacking noise? Or am I just imagining things?
Atmosphere's low.
It's like a cricket one-day burble at the moment, Nick, rather than a lot of cheers as Kennedy feeds it out to Fraser to Bramble. Kick to full forward for the Dogs. English going back. Iden slaps it away. Whitfield goes in front and square. And he's got no room to work. Ball up, full forward.
Giants fans haven't travelled, so...
even if they did, wouldn't be many more here.
4.5 minutes into the second term. 10-point game. Bulldogs' first home game of the season here at Docklands. Of course, big win over the two-time reigning premiers last week. Spills down to Toby Green. Hand pass away to Callaghan. Gets it out of defence. Dogs favoured by the numbers. They win it. Bramble, hand pass away to Butterick, stepping, trying to beat Cornelio. Got a hand pass away under pressure to Bramble.
Got him. Great
and
tackle.
he's tackled by Hogan, who does
on.
well to hold him up. Not rewarded.
He's had plenty of time to get rid of that.
What do you reckon, Ray? Ray Chamberlain on the boundary?
Well, he's got a reasonable time once he's tackled. I don't think there's any prior opportunity. Ball probably pinned. I think a ball up's fine.
He's a typical umpire.
Saturday.
Well, why do we ask him?
Saturday footy on ABC. Ray Chamberlain on the boundary with us all afternoon. Butterick goes across the 50 to West, who kicks inside it, and here's Norton, who takes the mark left half forward, 40 metres out.
That's moment of day when you said he's here for the whole game.
We do love Ray. Ray, to his credit, last year, there's plenty of times if the decision's wrong, he'll let us know. He told us earlier that didn't feel like that decision the other day was correct. What was that? Louis Young and Tom Lynch.
So you pick 1 out of 40.
No. He's an independent man. He's working for us on ABC Sport, no longer connected to AFL House.
Unleashed. Ray unleashed.
Here's Aaron Norton on the drop punt. That's superb. Tight angle at left half forward, straight through it goes. Restores a 16-point lead for the Bulldogs, 6-1. 37 the Dogs, they lead GWS 3-3-21, 16-point margin, 6 gone second term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Very good. Again, not on this game, but generally, I always think that Talls take 3 or 4 weeks before they start to get the hang of the season because they don't touch it as much and the ball comes a bit differently, their fitness levels. I think Darcy will be playing better football in 5 weeks than he is now.
Yep.
But I reckon the midfield are always up and around about because the ball's near them and they have far more opportunities. You notice that at all?
Yeah, it's not something I've ever paid attention to, Mick, but it does make sense. That the natural inclination, I think, for the game is to be around contest and mids and half forwards, and they get a lot of the ball. But the big guys can be left wanting on the back of it. It's a good observation.
Finished the year last year really well. Aaron Norton, as Briggs wins the tap for a bursting Toby Green, kicks the Giants to full forward. O'Donnell brings it down at ground level, going in Grajewski. He's dispossessed of it by Selwood, comes out for Gothard. Dribbles a kick towards the goal line, lobs back there for the Dogs. Rushing a snap, clears defensive 50, but it's all the Giants. Green picks it up, look out, West got him. Stopped, propped, went to kick. And an oncoming West clattered into him, holding the ball, Ray Chamberlain.
Happy with that one, Mick?
Oh, very much.
We're alive. We're back on, brother.
You're good for a couple, mate.
That was definitely there as West goes long down the wing.
Can you give me another one that's a bit more obvious?
Hines handball away towards the Bond. His hand pass picked off, taken by Ash, sends it down to half forward. Leaping up is... in all of that, Krzyzewski wasn't able to take the mark. Sorry, spills the way of Liberatore. Hand pass to Davidson. Hand pass back into dispute. Ash collects. Handball away to Oliver. She almost threw it out. The umpire says he was dumped after getting rid of it. Advantage applied. So Giants still going. Here's Thomas. 60 metres out. Kicks inside 50. Karma's desperate. Spoils it away. Game's gone up a notch. Deep forward for the Giants. Big tackle. Stringer on Hines. Hines got it out. Selwood kicks wide. Liberatore and Thomas in a one-on-one. No mark, but a free kick.
Yep.
And Lib has been held in the marking contest, and the oldest dog on the ground, oldest player on the ground at 33, takes the free kick at left, right half back, in fact.
Nearly learnt a new trick with a contested mark as well, Libber.
So
on that back flank.
Oliver's stats this quarter. Has he been near it?
He hasn't had a touch.
No.
He just got that handball before, or maybe it was a parry.
Yeah. He is a secret to it, really, because he has to go and take over Tom Green. I know it's a big call, but he has to take over Tom Green's role.
Butterick kicks up to the wing and Darcy marks, comes infield, hangs it in the air, sets a task for Bontempelli, gathers on the bounce, handball to Liberatore. Handball to no one in particular, and Buckley bursts onto it for the Giants, loops it over the top, Rouston sweeps it inside 50, Brown takes it in stride, snaps on goal, and Buku Karmas, last line, takes the mark. He's everywhere at the moment, Buku.
Wow, how much time did he have though? He could have really straightened up, Brown.
They're not booing, they're saying boo-coo, the Bulldogs fans. It's a popular chant. I feel like that's one that's really going to grow as the season progresses. Short to lob, goes out wide to half-back. Liberatore long down the wing, wanted Fraser. Spills through to the Giants, though. Fonte can't pick it up, but puts himself under pressure and earns a free kick taken high by Richards.
Got lucky a couple of times. He's decided not to really attack the ball as hard as Adam Kingsley would have liked him to do, I reckon. Fontempelli.
Yeah, goes back with the kick to Laverty, short to Iden. Margin 16 as it was at quarter time, 6-1 to 3-3. We've now travelled 10 minutes into the second. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Corbin, Middlemass, Ben Cameron, Ray Chamberlain on the boundary, Mick Moldhouse, Daniel Harford. Short to Buckley. Buckley in the middle of the ground for Clayton Oliver. Kicks deep to full forward. Karmas arriving. Did he get a hand on it? Broke it up from Krzyzewski. Hand pass to Gothard, who's immediately under the pump. Krzyzewski goes and gets it again. Hand pass away to Riccardi. Hooks a kick across the body from 45 out. Brown in the goal square. No mark. In the end, it's poked through for a rush behind. Off the boot of Bailey Dale. And the All-Australian finds the line in the nick of time. So 15-point lead for the Dogs.
120-game streak for Bailey Dale. Broke his wrist in the last game of the season against Fremantle last year. Would have missed the finals, but that loss meant they didn't qualify, so his game streak lives on.
He's lucky there's no wildcard.
Yeah. It wouldn't this year, Mick, you're right. Yeah. As the Dogs try and go through the midfield. English, away to Sanders by hand. Loops it over the top. English again for Bontempelli. Bounding through the middle. Driving kick long to full forward. Looking for Lewis. Iden comes across. Fists it away. Skids off his knuckles out of bounds. Throwing in the right forward pocket for the Dogs. They lead it by 15 points.
His name has to be flashing in the coach's box for the Giants at the moment. Marcus Bontempelli.
What an outing so far.
14 disposals. Kicked 2 goals already. But he's having impact in the game. Like Toby Green's had 12.
No,
he haven't really had an impact in the game.
Impact.
Darcy grabs it out of the ruck and goals.
Absolutely brilliant.
What can't he do? Sam Darcy reads it from the boundary throw-in, boot the ball in a flash, and through it goes to give the Bulldogs a new game-high lead. 21 points the Dogs' way. A dozen minutes into the second term, 7-1 to 3-4. And Sam Darcy, his star continues to rise.
No, well, he just takes that top off. It's got a Superman veil coming out the back of that. The terrifying thing about him is I don't think he's anywhere, he's going to mature even further, but it's early in the season. He's not taking marks at the moment, even though his opponent's about a head shorter than him. But the Dogs are so far on top as far as the clearances go. Now you've got a ruckman that just takes it out of the air and just ponks it through. Unbelievable goal. Really, for those that aren't watching and listening to us, like he's taken the ball out of the air with his ruckman on the defensive side and just virtually wiped him out of the road and just bullied the goal through.
Seen a bit of that this season so far, only 7 or 7.5 games in, that rucks have been able to do that in forward 50.
Yeah.
Arms are down beautifully here for Kennedy. Out of the middle again go the Dogs. Long kick to full forward. No mark taken. Delana taps it away. Bouncing ball. Callaghan arrives. The Giants work it out through Iden. Gets rid of it to Himmelberg. And cut short. Shaved Bonts. Kick up to the wing. Pinched by Bontempelli. Dogs back inside 50. Great kick for Davidson. Deft touch on the kick from the Bont. And Doc Davidson will go back from 40 metres out, slight angle to the left.
Half, as an observer, where's his best position, this kid?
Davidson?
I thought he had such a fantastic wing.
On the wing, yeah.
And yet, I see him so often as a half forward. And I'm not sure that he's a half forward compared to winger.
He's a terrific winger.
Yeah, I think he's a very good winger. He works both ways, gets back.
One of 5 debutants for the Dogs last year. His drop punt here is pure. Never looked like missing. And the Dogs are all over the Giants again. 27 points to the good. 8-1-49 plays 3-4-22. 14 minutes into the second. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
I've just got a feeling, given where they finished last year, the Dogs, there was a resolve to get better in areas that not get better on the top of how many goals we score, but get better on the things that cost us making the 8.
Yeah.
Clearly, one was, I thought defensively under pressure they crumbled. I'm now seeing a lot more numbers back. The spread of the workload, particularly with Bontempelli now spending more time forward, they realise that they can't just get away with Bontempelli, Liberatore and, say, Ed Richards. So they've addressed a couple of their major problems, and they look the goods at this stage.
Yeah, agreed. What we've seen so far, even in their practice match form, the game against Hawthorn, they dominated. You thought, hang on a second, maybe this is going to click for the Dogs.
Free kick, Giants in the middle. Oliver bangs it deep with a hot spot. Karmas punches it away into the path of Ralston, though, of the Giants. Hand pass to Gothard, gives it to Angwood. Hurried kick forward, Selwood.
There's another number. Just getting the numbers in the right area. Stand in front of the full forward. Maybe 5 metres, but then you've got that covered.
Michael Selwood in his second game comes out wide to Lobb on the back flank. Long kick to Baker on the wing, spoiled away by Fonte into the path of Whitfield. Hand pass to Buckley, to Delana, to Callahan, and now back by hand to Whitfield. He kicks it out further wide, wanting to get it to Thomas. Touches it over the boundary line, throw in right on halfway. Michael Selwood, by the way, picked 5 in last year's mid-season draft out of Peel Thunder. Won a premiership with Peel in 2024, won a premiership with Footscray last year. Gets the start last week for his first game. It's got 2 L's, so no relation to the Selwood family. The Selwood family, the footy world's familiar with, Sellwood.
And he missed the best part of the story. One of 10 siblings. So he had one of 10 kids. So he had 9 siblings travelling up to Brisbane for his debut last week. Wow. Expensive exercise.
Expensive for the Dogs. Going to draft just single. Yeah, just.
But they needed to add on. They needed to get some good players in their half back line. They leaked unbelievably last year.
They love how ferocious and desperate he is. They've got a lot of attacking defenders, the Dogs, and he's sort of a lockdown, ferocious player. Ball on the wing, winning at Bramble. Back feeding a handball away to Jakes, who cuts past a couple, pokes a kick out wide for Kennedy on the half volley. Can't gather it out. A player goes throw-in.
Just watching the way they're setting up behind the ball when the game's in flow a bit there, they're dominating the space they want to dominate. Yep. They're making the Giants find a way into areas that they can't get to easily. So that creates opportunity for guys around the ball to put more pressure on, make that next delivery, that next disposal under pressure, which gives them the advantage behind the ball where the ball's going to be. It's a good system. They worked on it really hard over the pre-season.
This ball on the wing again. Oscar Baker tracking it. Finn Callahan outpoints him, wins it, but turns it over with the handball to Bramble of the Dogs. Handball to Lewis. Tackled. Welcome to AFL footy. Strong tackle and a ball up. Again, neutral territory on the wing. The Dogs by 27. 3-1 in their second term.
Lewis is going to ruck here. Slips over. Riccardi palms it down. Sanders, first possession. Got a hand pass inside, but straight to Callahan, who runs away from the traffic in the wrong direction, and then retreats further with a kick back to Buckley. Centre half back, switches on out to right half back. Himmelberg marks. Bulldogs by 27. 17 and a half gone in this second term. Short kick finds Angwin, defensive side of the wing. Short further afield to Whitfield.
And they've locked the flow off. They've shut down all flow. It's all kick mark. They can defend that.
Numbers behind are in really strategically positioned to stop any leads.
Short to Riccardi, he goes long inside 50, and Krzyzewski in front of the pack takes the juggled mark. And young Max will have a look here from right half forward.
And every now and then, Mick, that will happen. The opposition will take a mark. That's okay.
Yeah.
Because they're good enough players to play on this level.
That's right.
But overall, the system should win out.
Yeah. Well, there was 2 players there. It could have been spoiled. But you're right, Hub. The ball goes in. Every now and again, someone's going to mark it. But by and large, they're cutting off any potential easy lead-up marks.
Yep.
Max Krzyzewski, had a big year last year in the VFL, made the team of the year. His drop punt here from right half forward just misses. Behind, clipping the post near side. So 8-1 to 3-5. That's 9 scoring shots to 8, and yet there's a 26-point gap in the game. 19 minutes into the second term. Dogs on top.
Lucky Jakes with the kick in. Short for Kennedy up the guts. He moves it out wide to Fraser. He comes further out wide to Bramble. Dogs working it down the dockside wing. Onto Baker, forward of it now. He can look inside 50. Sends it long. Darcy's down there. Norton too. Up they both go. Neither marks. Davidson Robes. Snaps. Goals! 2 for Doc Davidson. And the Dogs, they're out by 32. 19 minutes into the second. 9-1-55 plays 3-5-23. Mick Malthouse and Daniel Harford on Saturday Footy right here on ABC Sport.
Last week, I listened to Chris Fagan say that hasn't happened to us before, where an opposition have kicked 5 goals from kick-ins.
Yeah.
And we've just watched that one now, and that's I think it might be the first today.
Yeah.
But the significance of that is the ball use and picking the right targets. Now, that the end result was, it was a crumbing goal. But nonetheless, by doing what they did so quick, the Giants can't get the extras back. And so if they did it 5 times last week against the reigning premiers, that is, they've taken that, because you only score one of 3 ways: stoppages, turnovers and kick-ins. If you get 5 from a kick-in, that is unbelievable.
That effort last week was the most in any game since 2012, Mick.
Yeah, that makes sense.
By any team.
Well, if you get 2, if you get 1 a game, you've done a good job.
Yeah.
Dogs got it going forward, but picked off. Fonte, hand pass away towards Whitfield, handball to Oliver. Sweeping Polyfarmer, hand pass out wide for Thomas. Short kick finds Krzyzewski.
It's all a reflection of the rules too, Mick, I reckon. The opportunities that are created now. Sorry to bring it up.
barely 15. Thomas takes the mark.
But how many run off and go 25 metres, but there's no 15-metre...
Yeah.
Whitfield laterally again. Finds Iden right in the middle of Dockland Stadium. Loads up, long kick towards Brown, just underneath it. Gonna reach back over his head, and there's Buku. Takes the intercept mark, back pocket for the Dogs. 32-point lead, game high for the Dogs, time on second term.
He's really benefiting from the system.
Yeah, moves it on to Liberatore. He gets the handball to Butterick. He swings it towards Big Darcy on the logo. Pinpoint pass for Norton. You shouldn't be able to kick it like that when you're so big. Norton wheels and goes. Bontempelli. He marks in the goal square. And again, the Dogs go coast to coast.
So there's a bit of discussion last week about Sam Darcy. He kicked 2 goals, didn't have a great day from the expectation and the hype that's around him. But what people don't respect for that play, and you picked it up beautifully, Benny, is his ability to play the game and be a great field kick.
Yeah.
That was a laser to Norton around the corner a little bit.
Mark it down as goal number 3 for Bontempelli. As the Doggies kick away, they lead by a game high 38 points, 10-1-61. Plays 3-5-23, 22 minutes into the second. Mick Malthouse, Daniel Harford.
Well, it tells you a lot, 10-1, because they're getting their goals in close. They're not rushed with them. There's a couple of crumbs, admittedly, but it's the way they're bringing the ball into that front. Everyone says, they got the ball in the front 50, 55 times. It's fantastic. No, give me the figures that get in the front 30, and I'll tell you who's going to win the game.
Yeah.
50 doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win games of football. So the way they move that football there, that is clinical. Yes, there's no Taylor there. I don't think Taylor would have any impact whatsoever on that. There's no Tom Green. There's a lot of players that aren't there for the Giants. But the way the Dogs are moving football, this is quality September stuff.
Do you think bring back the old WAFL 25-metre arc, Mick? If you get it inside
that's where you should measure it from. If you
out of the middle, Kennedy grabs it. Long kick inside 50 again for the Dogs. Norton hitting up, takes the mark. And they are relentless at the moment, these Bulldogs.
I'd like to see the 25-metre arc, Benny, just by the way. I'm all for it, the red line. It was the red one, wasn't it, back in the waffle days?
I think it was, yeah.
It was a red one. Great clearance work again from the Dogs, and we've talked about it all game, that it's been an area the Giants have been found wanting, and Oliver's got to step up. Toby Green's got to go in, have some impact. Got to get some guys. Callahan's got to be better in those scenarios. They've got enough players around that can be good enough, but today they're absolutely being monstered.
Reset the record last year for the most stoppage goals. They might be out to break it again. Their 7th stoppage goal of the day.
Wow.
And we're only 24 minutes into the second term. Norton has himself a couple, and the Dogs are feasting. It is a 44-point break. 24 minutes into the second term, 11-1-67, GWS 3-5-23. Saturday footy on ABC Sport with Harf and Mick Malthouse.
Now, Lockie Aish, does he play middle that often?
No.
I know he plays back flank.
Oh, interesting. Well, interesting. He was running in there.
Yeah.
And I thought, I know he plays half back flank. I was asked the question that they've got to change something up in there. So, but Aish is a ball getter. Maybe they have to change it. Sorry, what did you say?
Well, their 3 big guns are in there. Callahan,
but they're
Green,
nothing.
And Oliver. So you talked about leadership before, and it's a really interesting time for those 3 guys to lead this team under enormous pressure.
Briggs taking it out of the ruck. He's tackled by Bontempelli as he hits the ground. Spun in the tackle and kicks out towards the wing. Angwin's there to pick it up for the Giants. Handball to Callaghan. On the logo, that long left leg. Kicks to full forward. Lobs down there. Nearly clunks it. Hogan pinches it at ground level. Handball errant. Dogs come again. Lobb spins into the tackle. And a ball up.
Positioning like a forward, Rory Lobb. He's playing in front. He wants that front position. He wants to make the Giants go over him.
Top, yeah.
Not easy
Carmus
to do.
is doing it exactly right. Carmus is doing the same thing. So's O'Donnell. It's terrific positioning.
Briggs palming it down. Ball hits the deck. Oliver shovels it out, but straight to Butterick. Dogs off the back flank. And a kick into the middle of the ground by Connor Butterick.
There's no one there, though. Picked up by Iden. Hand pass away to Lob 30. Goes short, trying to find Angwin. Overcooks the kick. Dogs back with it. Bramble. One of 11 guys to play every game last year for the Dogs. So despite the guys they did change, they also had a lot of settled pieces. Back to Lob. Short to Dale. One of their 3 All-Australians in the middle of the ground. Here's Connor Butterick. First year as a Dog, the former son, out of their academy. Gives it to Liberatore. He kicks out wide to left half forward. Wanted west. Bounces out of play. That'll be last disposal out of bounds. Free kick for the Giants.
Interesting decision, that kick. Especially in players forward who are in a lot better position.
Whitfield, short to Green. Giants down the city wing. Ash kicks a bullet onto the chest of Brown, leading up to mark. The Irishman, Category B rookie, from a part of this GWS forward line. He'll send it long towards the pocket, looking for a marker. Briggs goes up, off hands. O'Donnell waits down at ground level. Handball knocked down. Briggs shovels it out. Away towards Stringer. He'll retreat with the kick back to Callaghan. And he marks 48 metres out directly in front.
Another argument about that, whether it goes 15 metres. That's going to be... Ray Chamberlain would have played that.
Speaking of Ray, I've actually got one for Razor after this goal. Off the SMS from Rob in WA.
Marking it in.
Great to have the footy on again. And to Ray, I want to ask him to clarify shepherding in the marking contest, which some of our audience might not have heard Ray's take earlier, so that's coming up.
Finn Callaghan from downtown has dobbed it.
What a beautiful kick.
Thumping left leg. And that is a must-have for the GWS Giants to bring it back to 38 points. His second, 11-1-67 plays, 4-5-29 late in this second term.
Never in doubt. Ray Chamberlain, what do you make of that clarifying shepherding in the marking contest?
So the guts of it is, Corb, that the sole objective of the players is to be contesting the football. So when we're talking about a block in a marking contest, we want to see the player who steps off their line and or spreads out their arms to prevent their opposition contesting the football. They're the key elements. Eyes don't matter. Hairstyles don't matter. We need them to step off their line, not contest the football, and or extend their arms.
So just in the case the other night, Young versus Lynch.
Yeah, that's not a free kick in mine.
Ray Chamberlain, near 400 game umpire with us all season long. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Out of the middle, Libba gives a hand pass away to English. Floats a kick forward for the Bulldogs. Spills down off hands to Himmelberg. Hand pass away to Buckley. Kick smothered. Nice work there by Darcy with the 1%er. Forcer now follows up with a tackle. Wraps up Ash, takes him to ground. Ball up forward pocket for Footscray. So a 38-point lead for the Dogs. 28 minutes gone, second term Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Riccardi arriving late, opposing Darcy. Neither decisive. Darcy goes down and picks it up. It's knocked out of the contest and then hacked out of there by Rouston. On the half volley, kicks into the middle of the ground. Lobb punches it back towards centre half forward. O'Halloran there for the Giants. Clearing kick. Stringer and Selwood wrestle. Holding free kick. It'll go to Stringer. Tries to take the advantage. It'll come back. Phoenix Gothard wants to run away with it, but the umpire says bring it back.
Yeah, what's the Dogs?
Long way back.
Flood the area. They've taken the lateral ball out, and he's got nothing to kick the ball to.
They've just...
And then covering the leading lanes. That's the most interesting thing.
Flooded back the Dogs as Stringer tries to find a hole in the middle of all of it. He does. Hogan can't complete the mark. Liberatore cleaning up. Away to Dale. Delana pinches it there for the Giants. Toby Green wrestling with English. Fends him off, but he got him the second time, Tim. And he caught Toby. And the big ruckman will get the free kick. At fullback for the Western Bulldogs, they lead by 38 points a minute from the half.
One of their 6 Origin representatives, of course, played for WA, Tim English. And at the halfback, this is O'Donnell. Up the wing, City side finds Fraser. And they called the baby Bond. Looks across the ground. Finds Jakes. And he continues the shift. The Blondie down to left half forward. West has got it. 60 metres out. Turns, long kick to full forward. Darcy the target, not to be. Falls front and centre. Rouston tried to keep it in front of him. Lost track of it. Hines gives it to the Bond. Sells the dummy. Handball to Bramble. Handball goes back to Lockie Jakes, who shoots goalward, but doesn't have enough on it. It's off target too. And Ashmark's back pocket for the Giants goes short to Cornelio. Margin's 38 the Dogs' way in the waning moments of the first half.
Ash at fullback. Stabs it short to Laverty, who gives it to the run of Cornelio. On the D50 for GWS, out wide for Green. Green on the back flank, getting a few jeers. Comes infield for Ryden. Doggies by 38. Ryden stabs it short for Ash. Ash is backpedaling, under pressure, kicks laterally to Laverty. Still inside the defensive arc here, the Giants. Laverty out wide for Buckley. And that will do us for the first half. So the Western Bulldogs, they kicked 6 goals unanswered, bookended by a couple of goals for the Giants. So 6 goals to 2 in that second term as they went from a 16-point advantage at quarter time to a 38-point lead at the main break. The goal kickers, Bontempelli 2, Darcy 2, Norton a couple, as well as Davidson, and then Baker and Hines with singles for the Dogs. While for GWS, 2 to Finn Callahan, and then singles to Riccardi and O'Halloran.
So got out as wide as 44. The Dogs by 16 at quarter time, now by 38 at the half. We talk a lot about score sources, that they're incredible numbers. So as Mick pointed out during the broadcast, you score in 3 ways. You either score from stoppage, you score from turnover, where, by the way, about 68% of your score comes from turnover in the modern game, and you score from kick-ins, which is a very low number, hovering around 5%. So the breakdown of the 15 goals in the game, all 4 of the Giants' goals have come from turnover. The most common source, makes sense. For the Bulldogs, they've kicked 3 goals from turnover, 1 from a kick-out, and they've kicked a staggering 7 goals to zip from stoppage. So that is just unbelievable firepower around the footy that these Dogs possess.
It might just be worth explaining that to people. So if you have a kick-in, that means you score from a kick-in, it goes the whole way through without going out of bounds or going to a stoppage. And obviously the same. If you score from a stoppage, then it's a ball up, half forward, without it going out of bounds or anywhere else, it then goes through for a goal, and vice versa, just so people understand clearly what all of those things actually mean.
No, well, and it's so easy, isn't it? I mean, we say the game's an easy game. Well, that's only 3 ways. It's a matter of how you get your goal from that. But just looking at. Oh, sorry.
Just on that half, just ask me to clarify. What about front half? So forward half, Dogs 5 to zip stoppage goals in the front half.
See, that's where. So you're in attacking territory mode for the Dogs, right? So the Giants know you've got to defend that. So if they're getting reamed in that scenario, that's as much attitude as it is structure, Mick.
I'll go just a little bit different just a little bit in regard to that, because when you've got a Darcy in the forward pocket, he doesn't. English looks at that. He doesn't say, "Oh, will I take it?" With the current rules of now, ball, get it and throw it straight up. Darcy's already there. The opposition ruckman, he's still running there. And I just had a look at, I think it was Riccardi who was caught 40 metres from the ball. There was a ball up 10 metres out. Darcy's already there. It gets thrown up. Riccardi gets there too late. Darcy does what he wants to do. I don't think they scored a goal for it. But this is going to be so common. And I love the rule that you just ball it up. You don't wait for the Max Gorn to have a bit of a breather before you start to ball it up or throw it in. So that ball goes straight up. Now, if you've got a very good, smart half, a forward that's a ruckman in Darcy, he kicked his goal because the other ruckman had to run 40 metres to get there and was quite exhausted by the time he got there. Darcy's as fresh as a daisy. He just goes up, plucks it out and goes bang, kicks his goal. This is going to be more and more common if you've got a smart ruckman, not a make-believe ruckman, a ruckman, because you've got to defend it. And the only way to defend it is with another ruckman. And he's going to cover all the ground. So it's a very good ploy if you've got those sort of players. So as distinct from Hawthorn last night, who said 50-50 on and off the ground. So they rarely had Meek or Reeves as a forward pocket. So this is totally different. English and Darcy will work beautifully all year if they can stay on the ground together. I mean, clearly they're going to have to come off at some stage.
But even that, one of them's going to be. You've still got Norton down there
who can probably do the same.
Do it.
Probably won't have the same bearing though.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking a genuine ruckman like Darcy, who would probably prefer to be up around the ground as opposed to forward pocket or thereabouts.
Yep.
It's going to run sides. It's almost like you're going to have to look at a side and go, you know what, we're going to have to play 2 ruckman today, or we're going to have to play a tall back pocket because we're going to get found out our ruckman running. If they move the ball that quick, we won't be able to get down there.
Yep.
And once you put your hand up and you go, I'm the ruckman, you go, well, good on you, good luck. You're up against Darcy. You know, so it's the rules then will change the dynamics of the side.
Good insight.
What have you thought of at half?
Oh, I just think they've been way too good, the Bulldogs. I mean, we talked through the first quarter about the Giants' ability through the arcs to own the game a bit, just couldn't quite penetrate the defensive or the forward 50. But I've loved the way that the doggies celebrated their ball winners and that sort of stuff. But it's the guys behind the footy and the system behind the footy that I've been really impressed with tonight, seeing it live. Because Mick's talked about it a couple of times already, the question mark and the challenge for the Bulldogs through the off-season to be better was to find a better capacity to defend transition and defend full stop. They're doing that beautifully. They're locking away. As soon as the Giants get a mark now, particularly in that second quarter, they've taken away the handball receive target, so there's no flow into the game, which gives you time for your mids and your forwards to press up, or mids to drop back, forwards press up, which takes away the space for the opposition to work in. So they're forced to kick to the areas you want them to kick to your numbers and the space that you're guarding. So that's what really impressed me with the Dogs today. You can all talk about their firepower and their guns, but I've loved the way they've shut down the run of the Giants, especially in that second term, and the setup behind the ball where they are dictating where the ball goes. Yeah. And then they can attack on the back of it, and they've done it really well.
And remember, we talked about it all summer, didn't we? If they weren't able to better their defensive principles, the same thing was going to happen again. And the numbers told the story last year. They went 2-9 against top 8 teams. The only top 8 team they beat was the Giants, and they did it twice. And the points for, they were number 1 against the best, so they could score against the best, but they were number 11 defensively, and you can't go deep in September with those kind of numbers. So
so did you say one only beat a top side once? So
they won 2 games, but it was against the Giants twice.
So the chances are at round 2, or we'll call it round 2, round 0 and round 1, we'll go two games.
You're right.
They've already levelled it.
Yep.
If this game continues the way it's going, which for all intents and purposes it probably will.
And if these teams are top 10 teams, which you probably think they're going to be, aren't they? The Giants and the Lions, from what we've seen.
Top 10, yeah.
No. Why'd you have to bring that up for?
No, Goon is going to finish in the top 10.
Why'd you have to bring it up?
Kawinji Bora will finish top 10. Dalsford will.
I know one team who probably won't.
Grong Matong.
Grong Matong. They're a certainty.
Macca off the SMS. Hi, guys. Loving the coverage, especially having half on. Used to listen to him in the mornings. He was the reason my mornings were the best. Keep it up, guys, from Macca. Thanks, Macca. Appreciate that. Shout out to Annie, too. Appreciate her message. From John and Nick, tuning in while fishing on the Great Lake Central Highlands in Tasmania.
Beautiful.
Good on you.
That's a way to do it. No doubt about that.
I'd just love to know, do they go to that little hotel that sits on the hill outside of the fishing village there and have a... you have a lunch just looking over this great lake. It's beautiful. I'm going into. He's got to answer that back.
Lovely.
Tell us, are you having lunch at the pub?
Lovely part of the world. John and Nick, keen to hear a follow-up there. Hi, guys. Jake listening here from Norseman in WA. Really enjoying the call. A bit left field, but do you think the new ruck rules could end up forcing Kieran Briggs out of the GWS team?
Because he's more that wrestler than the jumper.
Well, you know what? It's only the centre bounce.
Yeah, that's right.
Because then all the bounces happen around the ground. And we saw that last night. We thought that where the Hawks were going to dominate was around the ground, which they did, because they just bullied the younger. So Briggs, there's a job for Briggs outside of the centre square.
And Jeff from Manning, good afternoon, loving the call. Can I please put a vote for Mick? Blunt, honest, insightful, and half intellect and enthusiastic.
No doubt about that.
Love the rest of the team too, but please put half and Mick on high rotation for expert commentary. Cheers from Jeff of Manning.
Cop that, Rammer.
Well, good news. He's in high rotation this year.
He is.
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
You've joined the VFL team for the television coverage for a large part of that season, and also every Monday morning, because Sunday afternoon and evenings following our game, Half and I will dissect the whole round, and you can catch that under ABC AFL Daily in the podcast store, and it'll be crisp stuff.
Lots of plugs to get our head around there. Just pick up on the VFL point. Returns to ABC TV, first time in a dozen years.
Yeah, good.
Jason Bennett, Matt Clench, Gemma Bastiani, Daniel Harford your call team. So starts next Saturday. One match each round of the home and away season. One match first 3 weeks of the finals, plus both prelims, plus the grand final. So the VFL back on ABC TV for the first time since 2014.
Any game. So during the week I was hearing it was going to be the Tassie games. Was that Channel 7, was it? So we're looking at any game.
You get one game.
That's fantastic.
Saturdays on ABC TV in Victoria. But if you're not in Victoria, and there's plenty of people listening to us that aren't, and you still want to watch, you can do that too through ABC iView. So you can tune in anywhere in the country. Game of the week, 12 noon-ish on Saturdays.
Yep. So pleased. So pleased for that competition.
How good.
Yep.
Back home on the ABC. It's halftime here on ABC Radio across the country. The Bulldogs by 38 points. Second half not too far away. With Half and Mick, myself, Corbin Middlemass, Ben Cameron and Ray Chamberlain under the roof at Docklands on a huge Saturday of footy. Second half only moments away, but first the latest from the ABC Newsroom.
ABC News with Satyam Weinstein. Iran's military says any attack on the country's oil energy infrastructure will lead to attacks on energy infrastructure owned by oil companies cooperating with the United States in the region. The warning comes after US President Donald Trump says that American forces have destroyed all military targets on Iran's Hug Island. The small island in the Persian Gulf serves as an export terminal for 90% of Iran's oil shipments. Explosions are continuing across Iran as state media reports a strike hit near where thousands of people had gathered for a pro-Palestinian rally. The BBC's John Sudworth reports.
Senior Iranian officials joined the march in person, including the hardline head of the Iranian judiciary, Gholam Hossein Mohseni-Ejei, speaking to the press when the missile comes in. Hardly even breaking stride as he continues talking. Under this kind of bombardment, he says, the Iranian people will never back down. There are reports of at least one person having been killed in the strike.
US media outlets are reporting the Pentagon is preparing to redeploy Marines from Japan to the Middle East. Unnamed US officials have told the Associated Press news agency that 2,500 soldiers, along with an amphibious assault ship, is being sent to the region. The move comes as the US and Israeli war against Iran enters its third week. The Federal Energy Minister Chris Bowen says there's no need to release jet fuel from the emergency stockpile amid reports China has told oil refineries to halt all fuel exports. There are growing concerns about supplies globally as the war in the Middle East escalates. Australia's releasing nearly a fifth of petrol and diesel from the stockpile in response to shortages in regional areas. Mr. Bowen says he's been speaking with the airlines about jet fuel, but there's no cause for concern at this stage.
We're not facing any immediate shortage of jet fuel, hence I didn't release any jet fuel yesterday from the minimum stock obligation. That's kept in reserve for if necessary. If necessary, we'll act, but not before it's necessary.
The Mayor of Longreach says the town is well prepared as residents brace for potentially record flooding tonight. Chelsea Malunga reports.
The Weather Bureau has issued a major flood warning for the Thompson River. Readings a short time ago show the river is at 5.58 metres and rising. The river level is predicted to peak tonight or early tomorrow at about 6.7 metres. Water and power infrastructure are safe, but once water levels reach 6.4 metres, it's likely the main highway will be closed. Longreach Mayor Tony Rayner says water could start reaching properties once levels exceed 5.5 metres.
As it goes up each 30 centimetres or so, obviously it starts to get into house yards and then into houses, but at this stage we'll just need to be prepared.
Sandbagging operations are underway and authorities are urging residents to monitor warnings and alerts.
Flooding in the Northern Territory town of Katherine has subsided. However, other top-end communities remain at major flood levels. Here's George Nicol.
The Katherine River has dropped below flood levels and students at the town's schools are set to return on Monday after their classrooms were used as evacuation centres during the week. In other parts of the NT, flooding continues. The remote town of Daly River is experiencing its worst flood on record, and residents of remote communities across the top end remain stranded in evacuation centres, unsure of when they will get home. A major flood warning is in place for the Daly River, as well as the Georgina River and Eyre Creek. Minor flood warnings are in place for the Victoria and Catherine rivers.
A hot air balloon pilot who's travelled from the UK says he was excited to take part in the Canberra Balloon Spectacular. Thousands of people flocked to Lake Burley Griffin this morning to watch more than 30 balloons lift off above the city for the first day of the festival. A turtle-shaped balloon dubbed Finley is the event's feature balloon, raising awareness about turtle conservation. Pilot Chris Freeman says he hopes it brightened people's mornings.
Just giving joy and smiles to everybody. I mean, there's lots of crazy things going on in the world at the moment. So if we can just give a bit of joy and happiness to everybody by seeing Finley smile across Australia, then, that's job done for us.
And a piano belonging to John Lennon was used to compose songs for the Beatles' 1967 album. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band has become the most expensive piece of the band's memorabilia ever sold. The upright sold at auction in New York for almost $4.6 million. You're up to date with ABC News.
Who will win the AI race? Has gambling become our national sport?
Questions. They've never been more important. So the one thing we'll never question is our duty to keep asking. ABC News. Keep asking.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Darcy throws it out of the ruck and goals.
Absolutely
What can't he do? Sam Darcy reads it from the boundary throw and boot the ball in a flash. And through it goes to give the Bulldogs a new game high lead.
Bramble. Dogs working it down the dockside wing. Onto Baker. Forward of it now. He can look inside 50. Sends it long. Darcy's down there. Norton too. Up they both go. Neither marks. Davidson Rogues. Snaps. Goals. 2 for Doc Davidson. Liberatore gets the handball to Butterick. He swings it towards Big Darcy on the logo. Pinpoint pass for Norton. You shouldn't be able to kick it like that when you're so big. Norton wheels and goes. Bontempelli. He marks in the goal square. And again the Dogs go coast to coast. Mark it down as goal number 3 for Bontempelli.
Out of the middle, Kennedy grabs it. Long kick inside 50 again for the Dogs. Norton hitting up, takes the mark. And they are relentless at the moment, these Bulldogs. Reset the record last year for the most stoppage goals. They might be able to break it again. Their 7th stoppage goal of the day.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
Incredible numbers, aren't they? 7 stoppage goals and a half of footy for the Western Bulldogs. And that is a fair statement from Luke Beveridge's team. They've got a good recent record over the Giants, and they've got a good record here through a half of footy. So 11-1, plays 4-5. The Western Bulldogs by 38 points at half-time. The first game of 4 on this Super Saturday of footy as round 1 continues. Still to come, Geelong up against Fremantle. That's the next stop down at Kardinia Park. And then, of course, tonight we're off in different directions. There's 2 games to be played. It'll be Sydney up against the Brisbane Lions, a depleted Brisbane team. They've got 5 forced changes from last week, 2 through injury, 3 through suspension. And then Collingwood take on Adelaide at the MCG. So a pair of cracking games tonight. If you want to take your pick and decide which one you want to listen to, well, ABC Listen's the place to do that. And you can toggle between the 2 games and flick between the 2 tonight, either Swans, Lions or the Pies up against the Crows. Now, the NRL, we're too early for NRL Saturday, but there's calls available there through ABC Listen as well. West Tigers up against the Cowboys. Following that, the Dragons and the Storm. And then the Panthers take on the Sharks. We've also got continued coverage of the AFC Women's Asian Cup, which rolls on. The Matildas through to the last 4, so they'll play that semi-final over in Perth at Perth Stadium in a few days' time. That was a big win last night over North Korea, 2-1. We were watching that and took the end of it last night on ABC Radio, and North Korea were peppering the Matildas in the last half hour, and our girls holding on to book their place, not just in the last 4, but also get qualification through to the 2017 World Cup in Brazil. Now, just a little plug for ABC AFL Daily. That is the place to go in the podcast store, whichever one you use. The ABC Listen app has it all carried there, of course. A one-stop shop. You can not just listen to live broadcasts, but also get all your favourite podcasts. So ABC AFL Daily is the podcast you're looking for. 5 drops throughout the week. Your weekly slate, by the way, starts on a Monday. You're going to get on a Monday Ben and myself, so Corbin and Ben, along with Mark Murphy, the Carlton champion, for your Monday. On Tuesday, I'll be joined by Bob Murphy. So Bob Murphy will join me on a Tuesday to pull apart all the shows from the night before that dominate the footy landscape. So all the key bits, we'll discuss that on a Tuesday morning. Then fast forward to Thursday night / Friday morning. Ben and myself will be joined by Brett Delidio. So that'll be a full preview of the weekend, plus the wash-up from the Thursday night game. On Saturday, you will get AFL Saturday with the coaching icon Mick Malthouse and the Premiership pilot Luke Ball.
Award-winning.
And then on Sunday, of course, Sunday night to complete the round, Daniel Harford will be joined by Ben Cameron to take you through the round of footy. So how good's that on a Sunday evening? So when you wake up on Monday morning, no matter what time you start your commute to work, you got a full wrap of the weekend's games. So that's what you'll get through ABC AFL Daily.
Do we have to nominate ourselves for the award, or does somebody else do it for us, Benny?
It's a sensitive topic.
Well, somebody will nominate. So that's
sounds like it's Benny.
It's an early season favourite. ABC AFL Daily. The place to start today with all your footy action. Off the SMS, Christine and Jim, shout out to you, tuning in from Helsinki.
Oh, wow.
Very early morning, loving the Bulldogs' efforts. Listened in last year for a Dogs game in Stellenbosch.
Yeah.
Keep coming, Dogs, from Christine and Jim. Nice to hear from you, members on tour.
I was supposed to go there one year and the flights got cancelled. We never went.
Helsinki or Stellenbosch?
Helsinki.
Oh, wow.
That would have been great.
Christmas. It was going to be awesome, but didn't happen.
Third quarter underway. The Dogs out of the middle. Bontempelli gets it inside 50 and Bailey Williams applies the tackle on Fonte and has him holding the ball. And Bailey Williams, who may well have kicked goal of the year last week, will go back and kick for the Sticks.
That's another clearance straight off the bat at the start of the third quarter. It's the last thing the Giants needed.
And I'm looking at stats inside forward line. Giants have actually had the ball longer in their forward line than the Dogs.
Is that right?
Percentage-wise.
Yep.
Williams comes in, boot to ball from the paint of 50 for the perfect start. It fades. Misses to the right-hand side. The Bulldogs lead by 39 points. Less than a minute into the second half.
It probably makes a bit of sense, Mick, the way that the Dogs have been able to transition.
Yeah.
So there's been no time for the Giants to get back and help. So every time they get in there, they're scoring or thereabouts, the Dogs, as opposed to the Giants, every time they get in there, because they're being held up, so many numbers from the Bulldogs in there that they can't penetrate. They have to own the ball.
The whole of all, yeah.
Early stages Q3. This is the Bulldogs by 39 points. This is Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Angwin off the back flank, has it for the Giants. They're in a slow play, goes with a long kick to the big man on the wing. There's a free kick for a hold, and guess who's being held? It's Marcus Bontempelli. There's a reason for that. He has been off the chain today, 19-3 and counting. Short kick there, makes it 20, gets it back from Dale on the 1-2, and that's 21. Thought about a third touch in the chain. Richards marks the kick, and he's got it 70 metres out, looks inside 50. Norton leaping up, can't complete the mark. Buckley, hand pass back into dispute, straight to Sanders of the Dogs. Handball away to Libba. Libba smooth, off a step, puts it through. And the Dogs pick up where they left off early in this second half. And the lead grows, it's out to 45 points. 2 minutes into the third, the Giants with a lot to do. Western Bulldogs 12-2-74, GWS 4-5-29, Saturday footy, ABC Sport.
Forward ground ball again, which they've been so good at. Liberatore positioned himself beautifully for the feedback release handball, but it's their ability at ground level as much as anything else. The Dogs all over the ground, stoppage, scrimmage, doesn't really matter. That's where they're absolutely taking the Giants to school today.
You'll be pleased to know, Mick, John and Nick have been back in touch.
Yep.
Yes, we love a cold pot of bogues at the pub, but the fish are biting, so that's going to have to be later.
Well, fair enough. It's a beautiful spot there. 1,200, it's about 1,000 metres above.
Is it?
Yeah.
English wins the tap down. Bontempelli knocks it out. Liberatore out of the middle, kicks for a leading Darcy or Norton. It's the latter in front. He clunks it, 30 out, slight angle to the right. And it is like the Giants are bright orange training cones at the moment.
Well, you know that spray that he gave on the little documentary for the Sydney game?
I reckon hit play and run it back again?
They're weak as water, so to speak. I reckon it might get a run. Or if it didn't get it at the half-time, it might get one at three-quarter time the way they're going. They cannot stop the Doggies at all.
Clearances, no.
Norton, left foot drop punt is good. He's got 3. And this lead is beyond 50 points. 51, 13-280, plays 4-5-29. It is getting into shellacking country at the moment, Big Malthouse. Daniel Harford.
Yeah, don't we love a close game? Like, I think Dill said that there were a couple of close games.
Well, Thursday night was relatively close.
Yeah.
Well, you did say that
two bottom sides.
These rules would open up the gap between the best and the rest. Maybe the Dogs are the best and the rest.
It's really, that was based around the stand rule, that sort of stuff. But the centre square is now being dominated by teams, and not necessarily the ruckman who dominates it. It's just that there's got to be more work done at the centre square and behind the line. Here it is again.
Brad Scott did say last night, good luck with margin compression.
Yes,
that's the phrase he used. As Liver gives a hand pass away to Bontempelli, he feeds it to Richards and he hits up Norton. And when he can run straight up the corridor like that from the goal square, good luck stopping him.
Yeah.
The delivery from the All-Australians all involved. Richards puts it out in front.
What do you do, Mick? What do you do now? If you're Adam Kingsley, there's 3 centre bounces, 3 entries inside forward 50, possibly 3 goals.
I would go straight to Andrew Dillon and say, that 6-6-6 dropped. I'm going to put 2 players extra behind the ball because I don't want to sit on my hand as a coach and subject my supporters to something I can't do anything about.
Aaron Norton for number 4. Drop punt is good too. They're still growing. 57 points and the route is on. 5 minutes gone, third term, 14-286. GWS 4-5-29. They're not moving. This is Saturday footy on ABC Sport. The Dogs up to 9 stoppage goals.
Yeah, okay. Now, we can't do that, clearly what I said. But what you have to do, if that's not working for you in the middle, you've got to keep swapping it. Like, this is now 3 goals and 3 goals, and basically they've all come out of the centre.
Yep, they have.
So you have to now swing it around that a bigger body or a different ruckman or something. You've got to change. And why wouldn't you have your wingers now sitting on the line right back here?
Yep.
And just cut across and at least fill the gap between the centre square and the 50-metre line.
Right, cool. Now Riccardi's in the ruck trying to beat English.
English taps it down to Bontempelli, paddles to his own advantage, kicks towards full forward. Iden drops the mark. Time to recover. GWS under all sorts of pressure. They're swarming the Dogs. Norton applying the tackle. Ball jars free. Bailey Williams loops it over the top. Darcy in the goal square. Pokes it through. This is a procession.
It's actually embarrassing for the Giants.
Yeah, it is.
3 for Darcy, and they've kicked 4 goals in 6 minutes of real time. 15-2-92. Plays 4-5-29. Daniel Harford, Mick Malthouse.
Well, getting back to that, just for those that when Half asked me what would you do, so what's available to you with the rules is that the wingers at the moment are setting up right up on the wing. So whack your wingers right back to the 5th, right onto the square line so that they can then cut across. Now that ball there's a classical case because that ball was then got between the centre square and the 50-metre line. If you bring a player in, he would have filled that gap up immediately. And also then you get your half forwards up onto the 50-metre line where we're allowed to be and sprint into the back of the line, so therefore you're covering the back as well.
Yep.
Nothing worse now than you've got to have numbers around the ball to stop the Dogs doing what they're doing so well.
6 minutes of the quarter, Bontempelli 6 touches.
It's incredible. Out of 19 that the Bulldogs have had, out of the middle they go again. Another centre break. Kennedy kicks it into the forward pocket, hitting up Laverty, takes the mark. And he's going to kick hurriedly out of defence, but it bounces out of play, and that'll be last disposal.
So Riccardi in the ruck's a disaster at the moment too. You've got all momentum against you, and you're up against English. It's not a winning formula.
Yeah, and English is not the greatest centre square ruckman. He's good around the ground, but
he's Mick Briggsy. Is he down with you, Ray?
Fraser.
Yeah, he definitely is. But he's also conceded 4 centre bounce free kicks. So, they're clutching at straws.
Well, at least you get a chance to slow the game up and give away a free as opposed to just letting them run right through the front of it.
Fraser to Williams, long to the goal square. It's punched through by Himmelberg for a rush behind. So at least the Giants get the ball in the hand for a little bit here. But 4 goals, 2 in 23 disposals for the Bulldogs in 8 minutes of real time to start this third term. Dogs by 64.
Oliver kicks up to the wing. Lob punches it away off the side of his knuckles into the middle of the ground, and it's all the Dogs again. Liberatore to Dale. To Bailey Williams, drops the mark. Time to recover, goes back to Jakes, pokes it out wide, and Norton getting up to the logo marks here. Kicks on his left, out in front of Bailey Dale, bouncing ball, it will tumble out. Lasso free kick, last disposal out of bounds. Giants ball, Dogs by 64.
They're incredible numbers. So 5 centre breaks, all for the Western Bulldogs. 7 inside 50s, all for the Dogs. 28-14 the disposal count. So 2 in every 3 going the Dogs' way, and that's why they've kicked 4 goals, 2-0 in this 9 minutes of the third quarter so far. Giants work it up to the wing. Here's Toby Green in front of the benches. Kicks to half forward. Hogan the target. Lob kills it out of bounds.
They're prepared to leave their opponent, come across and help. Defensively, it's terrific. It's so good to watch.
They're spoiling a lot more. All of that work in the pre-season. They worked a lot on which arm to use, how to manoeuvre yourself to spoil better, and the RFIs come up.
How does it work out which arm to use?
I don't know.
Third hand would probably be a good start. Back inboard, here's O'Halloran, who kicks inside the forward 50, bouncing ball out in front of Ralston. He's mowed down by Lockie Jakes. Great chase down tackle. Wins possession back for the Bulldogs. O'Donnell takes the advantage. Hand pass away to Williams, goes back to Jakes in his blue boots. Short kick finds Libber on the back flank. Bulldogs large. They lead by 64 points, 10 minutes into their third term.
Yeah, it's just really difficult to understand where the Giants are coming from, because they can't close the game up. The game is so open at the moment. I forget about the number of tackles and the contested football, because it's really been won by how quick the ball's been moved and who's controlling the football.
See, they're panicking at all times now.
Yeah, they're under the pump across half-back. Iden pokes it out wide. His kick is good. Lions Fonte.
There wouldn't be a lot of big difference in possession rate. It's just...
No. Well, nor was it last week either for the Dogs and the Lions. The Lions owned most categories last week, but the Dogs were much more efficient in damaging when they got possession.
Giants trying to switch here. Laverty shorts it for Ash. Still inside the defensive arc. Kicks under the man on the mark to Wangwin.
So there's no flow. This is what the Dogs have done beautifully all day.
Have a look at the setup by the Dogs from our box here. Is they've covered all corners. So now it becomes a in-the-air kick.
Yeah.
And it's only marked because it's a very good mark.
And every now and then that's going to happen.
Hogan does take a good mark, gives it off to Toby Green, who kicks around the boundary line, and Bontempelli sprawling, knocks it down for Bailey Dale. Dogs back with it, lob to Karmas, to Davidson. He's worried out of it by Angwin. And a throw in just forward of the wing for GWS, but it's laborious for them when they go forward, and it is smooth for the Dogs. They lead by 64, the Western Bulldogs.
Body language is interesting on the bench.
Jake Stringer on the ball for 5 minutes, just see if something changes.
English palms it down. Sanders the target, who's getting his midfield minutes there. So the Giants, they work it out. Cornelio gives it to Angwin. Floats a high kick inside the forward 50. Grashevsky forced to spoil at ground level. They work it out here. The Giants comes the way of Brown. He gives a hand pass away to Toby Green. He's going to bounce it through. You can take that back to Ralston, who extracted it on the bottom of the pack, and it leads to a Giants goal. And Toby gets one that is badly needed for GWS. And first of this second half, Western Bulldogs 15-3-93. GWS moved to 5-5-35. A dozen minutes into the third. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Make no mistake about that. It was a brilliant goal. He didn't want to use his left boot. He used his right boot and virtually got it under players and had the right angle on it to be able to swing the ball through on the ground. Beautiful goal. Make no mistake about that. He's still a clever player, Toby.
Closing in on the GWS games record behind Callan Ward. Of course, a man who represented both of these clubs.
Gone to the goal square 2 green, which now puts Stringer further up the ground.
Darcy taps it down to Richards, gives it back to Darcy on his left. Not a great kick, but inside 50. There to mop up Himmelberg for the Giants, off to Angwin. Gets rid of it to Laverty. Kick up to the wing for Gothard. Clattered into by Selwood. Took the body, gave away a free kick.
But a really good last metre surge from Selwood to try and defend that. Wasn't clean in the end, but great defensive mindset.
Those 2 young kids that have gone to the back line, they've made a significant difference to the Dogs because they've allowed Dale to still be a free runner, but now they closed the game down, Selwood and what's his name, Jarks?
Yeah. As the Giants work it around towards that City wing. Himmelberg with the kick beyond it. Punched away by O'Donnell into the path of Williams. Hand pass finds Sanders against the boundary line. Riley Sanders. Tasmanian retreats back to Jakes. Hand pass over to Williams. Long kick back down the wing. Massive players there. And out the back, Laverty claiming the mark. There's a free kick though.
Yep, off the ball. Pushed him off. Shepherd.
Shoving all that. It's going to the debutant Will Lewis, 26-year-old, who was not on an AFL list on March the 1st. when he woke up that day. So incredible story to be playing here 14 days later. Short to Bramble, short to the Bont, who has been busy. He's got 3 already. He's just going to kick over a mass of players inside the attacking arc. He's offline. And a behind for Bontempelli, whose day now looks like 25 disposals, 3 goals, 1.
Could sneak in the votes.
9 inside 50s, 8 led to scores. 59 points the Bulldogs lead, and we are only 14 minutes into the third.
Can excuse him for eyeing the sticks there as Whitfield moves it short to Himmelberg, who goes laterally to the pocket, and Fonte loops it over the top to Iden. Hospital hand pass nearly. Iden tackled by Bontempelli. Back to Fonte to Angwin. Running into dead ends here, the Giants. And Halloran will get the free kick downfield. Well, they'll come back and go to Fonte at will.
Late call.
Yeah.
Just everything is hard for the Giants today as Fonte moves it back to centre-half back. Whitfield pokes it into the middle for Riccardi. Closing late Lewis.
But even that, it's legal. You take them to the ground, slows them up.
Dogs by 59.
Steve Cornelio is obviously former captain. He's in the 7th year of his $7 million deal. There was the controversial one when he signed it, but obviously dropped as captain of the team under Leon Cameron not long after that. And Callahan's got it here on the wing. Toby Green with the big set. Went flying through the sky. Couldn't come down with the footy and all of that. And in the end, the umpire's going to call for a ball up as it's held to O'Donnell on the bottom of the pack. She had a fair ride on Krzyzewski, his own teammate.
Yeah, you become the ladder.
Toby Green couldn't quite make it stick from the restart. Hines gives a handball away to Jakes, kicks down the wing, and Fonte takes the intercept mark. But just my point on Cornelio, just doesn't have that same sort of power running. That not that he was ever sort of explosive in his quickness, but gee, there were moments on that back flank where Fonte was looking for a player and Cornelio just couldn't go with him. Kick inside the forward 50, spills down off hands, and Brown keeps it in front of him once. Soccer's goal with the second time, misses far side of behind. Minor score 16 minutes into the third, 58 points the Bulldogs lead.
Well, short kick up the middle. Ed Richards, game 150. Driving ball out towards the wing, trying to find Bailey Williams out there, brings it down, and Jakes comes and supports. Swings a handball away to Lewis, back to Richards, fumbles it, allows in the Giants. O'Halloran pinches it, gives it off to Thomas, back to Delana, kick inside 50 for the Giants, holding
Toby.
free kick, and it will go to Toby.
Who read one just there?
James O'Donnell, the infringing party.
Not sure he needed to, but that's the name Green. Straight away you panic a little bit how creative he can be.
Yeah, that's reputation, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Much as anything
He
else.
didn't have to. He had perfect body position.
It was a hurried ball in. It wasn't a clean entry.
So yeah, he's
one-on-one, had him covered. He had Thomas at the back.
Yeah. That's the thing today. They've been able to back each other up in the air, haven't they?
Mark set 40 metres out, 45-degree angle to the left-hand side.
Missed these last year. Late in the year he missed this.
Close to the man on the mark. Toby Green's drop punt is missing. Narrow.
Cost him badly in the finals, kicks like that, when he repeated it this thing.
Dogs by 57 points, 17 minutes into the third term.
Bailey Dale, the All-Australian, kicks to half-back. Oh, O'Donnell spills a mark he should have taken, hands it away to Hines, back flank. Cooper Hines wants to go out wide with the kick, trying to link up with his teammate. He does so, Selwood. He's going to be paid the mark. They want to take the advantage. The Bulldogs, you can't do that for a mark, so it's coming back. 57 points the margin.
That's a nickname I'll be running with too if I was James O'Donnell.
Adonis, yeah.
Selwood, hand pass away towards Jacks, who kicks down to half forward and punched out of bounds by the defender there in Iden, knocks it away from Norton. Adam Kingsley admitted over the off-season, actually, after that finals defeat, that he made a mistake leaving Toby sort of one out at full forward too long. Basically said, I should have brought him up around the ball, and it's a promise basically this year we'll see more midfield minutes from him. Do you like him up the ground?
Yeah, I do. Because he's a smart player and he's a hard player. He doesn't go to ground too often, so you need that type of player through the middle. Even it's just little cameos. If he does real time, 5 or 6 minutes per quarter, that's pretty good.
Jakes kicking the Dogs into the pocket and punched away, throw in 40 around from their attacking goal.
But you've got to give him a consistent run. When I say 5 or 6 minutes, it can't be just one game now and one game a few weeks. It's got to be on the quarter per game. And what it does, it gets him into the game.
Riccardi and Lewis lock up. Riccardi palms it down to the front. The Dogs swarm. Hines goes in and applies a tackle. Another ball up. Dogs by 57.
They've got great position behind if the Giants win this ball.
Riccardi taps it down to Callaghan. Back to Riccardi. Dribbles the kick. Jakes gathers just beyond attacking 50 for the Dogs. Off to West. Short kick for Bramble. Not 15. He's tackled. Gives it off to Bailey Dale. Pokes it inside 50. And Baker's got it again.
Great awareness. Bramble did a good job. He knew it wasn't 15, but he wanted to draw the defender so that he drew 2 defenders so that there'd be a spare player to feed off to, which it was. And Dale, in the end, and his clever little kick over the top to Baker was terrific.
Going to kick across the body here, Oscar Baker.
35. Possibly 40 by the time he launches it.
Side on to goal. Already got one in his milestone game. Snaps it from 40 and curls it through.
Never in doubt.
Oscar Baker's got a couple. And the Dogs lead by 63, 16-4, 100. They cross 100 19 minutes into the third term. Plays 5-7-37. He was the man who was pictured in the Tooth and Nail, the song released by Luke Beveridge, in the artwork on the cover of that album. Oscar Baker tackling Xavier O'Halloran, believe it or not, who's playing in this game for GWS.
Well, there's so many people that have to be thrilled with what you just said, didn't Bev? I've got no idea what you're talking about.
You haven't heard the song?
No, I don't. Mate, it's probably go back 5 years and maybe. I'm 65 under, I would probably not. But 65 plus,
right.
No, I'm out of it.
I'm with you. I haven't heard the song. I've heard of the song. Now,
so you're 65?
Written by Luke Beveridge.
Yeah, he wrote
65?
a song for his team.
It's Bevo's song. He wrote it.
No, I understand well. I know that now.
I think the song might be in our system. So, in fact, I'm sure it would be. So we might be able to play that for you. It's three-quarter time. Dogs by 63. And they got this game in their keeping. Long kick forward finds a Lewis. He marks right on the 50. Left half forward. Hits up Norton. Good luck stopping that.
Kick.
Leads into the pocket, and Will Lewis on debut. Straight on Norton's chest.
Where do these players come from? Is it because we don't recruit? We recruit young fellas too early, and then we don't look at the next ones up.
For the life of me, I've been on about this for years, mate. For the life of me, I can't work out why there's not more state league players that get elevated and drafted by our clubs.
Because they mature later.
Mature. Yeah. They've got life balance. They've got perspective. They're hungry as anything.
Yes, because they're probably stacking something somewhere or on their knees. Yeah,
I can't work it out.
Norton kicks it a little narrow, misses. He's another one out of that long line of Footscray VFL, so right under their own nose. He's a left footer, so he's the 9th lefty that they've got on their list. 7 of them playing today.
Yeah.
Luke Beveridge did say, Mick, he was working as an engineer, so really long days, and then getting his weights in and training outside of that as well. Kick from Whitfield, broken up by Oscar Baker. Gothard gathers for GWS, kicks up the wing. Lobb punches it away, back towards half forward, bouncing ball for Buckley. And the Giants are there again, but the handball back into the corridor, dangerous. Whitfield somehow emerges with it to Fonte, to Callaghan. All by hands to Oliver, back to Callaghan through the logo. Handball to Oliver, back to Angwin. And the Giants emerge with it in a bit more space.
Oh, Angwin missed Briggs. Slides through to Thomas, who collects. Hand pass away to Himmelberg. 70 metres out, kicks deep towards full forward for the Giants. Buku knocks it down, but straight into the lap of Ralston, who hooks it through for a goal. The Giants with a long climb, and they get one back to bring it at least south of 10 goals for now. So 6-7-43. The Western Bulldogs 16-5, 101, 23 gone in the third. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
The lesson there is that because the Giants are a good football side, make no mistake about it. They move that ball there without a great deal of interruption. Briggs, probably best thing that happened was it slipped and didn't take possession, in all honesty, because he would have slowed it up. It went over his head or went underneath his feet, and then the ball moved in there, and the Dogs couldn't get the extra players back there. And the crumbing took place, and a goal resulted because of that quick ball movement. And the Giants were able to do that because they are a good football side.
It's the best they've looked today.
Mick Malthouse and Daniel Harford with us, picking the game apart beautifully as always. Sanders going in at the restart. Spits out to Liberatore, who gives it off to English. Tumble punt inside 50, getting there Norton, big collision.
Good luck.
Ball goes out the back to Buckley. and players are down. Lewis, he was the meat in the sandwich. A couple of Giants are down. Himmelberg's slow to get up.
Yeah, that's
Lewis as well, and this is
Laverty's hurt his back.
not good. Laverty is writhing in pain on the ground and prone at the moment. Lewis doesn't look much better.
So the problem with Laverty, he's sort of lying on the leg of Will Lewis. So the Dogs trainers come to Lewis. Laverty, who's lying still on top of him.
He's right in the spinal area, wasn't it?
Yeah, English crunched him. Courageous to go back. And then he headbutts basically Lewis.
That was like a car accident where the cars sort of bumped one into the next, and so it was Laverty who crashed into his own teammate Himmelberg, and then Himmelberg banged heads with Will Lewis. So it's a three-player pile-up in the end.
So Lewis will have the blood nose or the headbutt to the cheek, a little bubble maybe.
It looks like
Laverty's the one, I reckon. He's in a real strife.
Yeah, Himmelberg's bleeding from the chin, where I think he copped the headbutt. But Laverty's sitting up now, which is a good sign. But yeah, he was the one who could have an issue with his back or his almost very lower back
ribs
possibly.
Well, that's a big hit.
Those chins
cut on
cut.
the chin.
Razor's going to be busy down there.
As long as he hasn't broken his jaw there, though. You don't like if you lead with your chin. Accidentally, of course, against that's the thing that will break the most will be your jaw. It's designed to.
Ray Chamberlain's on the boundary down there. What can you say, Ray?
Well, at the moment, you can see that Lewis is making his way under the blood rule. It appears he's holding a cloth on the side of his head. But he appears to be fine. He's certainly cognizant and not requiring any assistance from the trainers. I think he'll be okay.
So there's no dramas about his jaw, just his
just holding above his eye, Mick. So
above his eye or chin?
Just above his eye, actually, is where the blood looks like it's coming from. That's Lewis.
Lewis, sorry.
And I'll give you a little update when I can get a bit more of a closer look on the other two.
Well, Laverty's jogging off now, so that's a great sign.
Yeah.
Because he looked in all sorts there.
Himmelberg's cut on his chin, but the blood was sort of all over the back of his neck too, so there's a lot of claret.
Yeah, that was a nasty collision.
The thing is, he's probably going to be able to come back on because it would have winded him for absolute certainty. And that, take the wind out of you. It's hard to get. It's hard to be realistic about standing up for a start off. You've got to be able to breathe.
58 points, the Bulldogs lead. 26 minutes gone, third term after that three-man collision. So Himmelberg, Laverty, the two key defenders down for the Giants, and Will Lewis down for the Dogs. Bulldogs have the footy between wing and half forward. It's Baker in game number 50. Kicks inside 50, slides through the hands of Briggs. He has to lay a follow-up tackle. And the umpire says, I'll have it. A ball up as West is stopped in his tracks.
I think Jack Buckley must be a World Wrestling fan. He was pulling some sort of manoeuvre against Sam Darcy, just trying to stop him and get into the ball.
Yeah.
Illegal.
Briggs
away with it.
Dribbles it forward, picked up by Toby Green. His clearance chopped off. Jakes pokes a kick inside 50 for the Dogs. That's broken up. Ash emerges with the footy, clears to the wing. Good kick. Basket catch from Phoenix Gothard, who sets off with it. Takes on Butterick. He's nearly run down, just gets his kick away. And Lobb closes down Brown, punches it out.
Good chase. They've been desperate today, the Dogs.
Yep.
That last metre in aerial contest, they really charge into it. They might give away a free kick every now and then, but it's a real intent to try and get the ball back or bring it to ground. That was a great chase from Butterick as well.
The Bulldogs leading by 58 points, 4 minutes away from three-quarter time.
Briggs grabs it out of the ruck, not quite as elegant as Darcy earlier, trying to shoot for goal. Ball trickles away towards Jakes. Hand pass to Dale. He gives it off to Kennedy, who exits defensive 50, and Norton untangles himself from Angle and takes the mark. Of course, those two backs missing for the Giants. Gets the size mismatch there. Kicks laterally to Butterick, who marks at centre-half back through the corridor. Richards has got a long kick to West. Numbers with the Giants. Buckley covers across. Takes the intercept mark for GWS. Gives it to Whitfield. Short kick to half-back, and Callahan with it. Bulldogs by 58 points late in the third.
Just pokes a pass to Oliver. Sweeping handball to the run of Whitfield. Giants down the dockside wing. Whitfield's kick up to a contest. Lobb and Brown. Lobb halves it. Gothard roves the pack. Floats a kick inside 50. Bouncing ball for Karmas. Cops a bad bounce, but Butterick's back there to help out for the Dogs. Back pocket. Rolled by Hogan in the tackle. Umpire wants it. Ray Chamberlain.
Verde, he's up and about. The doctors are still looking at some of the vision, but I think he's going to be okay. Got a good limp on Mick, but I don't know about Lewis. What I do know is Himmelberg's getting some stitches. I was speaking to his father-in-law, actually, at half-time break, who's a mad Richmond fan, so he'll be a bit worried about him, but I'm sure he'll be fine. He's a tough fella.
Father-in-law worried about his son-in-law.
They do that, Mick, around in some families.
Mick's son-in-laws around the place, just a little worried as they listen in on this Saturday afternoon.
Sleep with one eye open, those boys, I reckon.
The Dogs off the last line. Baker, clear and kick beyond defensive 50. Bramble marks and away go the Dogs. Takes a bounce, look out. Under the pump, gets a handball away and turns it over. Stringer wins the footy back for GWS.
That's a great kick. Gothard's all by himself, takes the mark right half forward.
That's what...
Got Hogan short, ignores that.
That's what you want with Stringer. Get him up the ground, get him involved. He's so clever for the football. Down in the front 50 at the moment, he's been swamped by 2 or 3 dog players. So if we let him be a one-on-one, you can't go any worse than what's happening in the middle at the moment. And he's big body. If he gets his hands on it, they're not going to knock him off his feet.
Phoenix Gothard. They turn down the Coleman medalist Hogan a little closer to goal on a tighter angle. So Gothard here from right half forward, kicks from 48 metres out, misses. And behind. Trying to avoid a bit of eye contact there. 57 points, the Bulldogs lead.
Mick and the boys at Christmas.
30 minutes into the third quarter.
Bailey Dale, turnover. Straight to Buckley, short kick for Clayton Oliver. Handball back to Ash. He'll chip into the pocket looking for Hogan through his hands. Slips straight through them, he apologises. Throw in right forward pocket here for GWS. Chickies by 57, and after they kicked 4 goals in 6 minutes to start this third term, just a little bit been going through the motions, the Dogs.
Well, we've seen it with sides that lead by 10 goals. They really do go to sleep for a while.
Riccardi taking it out of the ruck, 5-metre kick, works out for Ralston. His shot on goal, chopped off by Rory Lobb. Fumbles it but recovers on the last line. Waits a kick beautifully for Buku Khamis. Back flank, and look at the most settled he has at AFL level, Buku Khamis, now that he's playing in a consistent role. I know it's only second game of the season, but throughout the pre-season, that third intercept marker. He shorts it to Dale, who moves it on to Liberatore. Infield to Selwood. Selwood forward, handball to the runner, Butterick. Butterick looks to the wing, taken by Jakes on the logo, looks towards 50, Richards has it. Well worked by the Dogs. Will he look for Norton? Further afield, Bontempelli, yes! Just in the field of play, 25 metres around from the goal, left forward pocket. The Bont is having himself a day.
It's a filthy stat line. I mean, 25.
What a great description.
Comes infield for Kennedy.
25 disposals, 12 contested, 7 ground balls, 5 clearances. He's got 9 inside 50s, 8 scoring involvements, 3 goals, 1, and almost 600 metres game.
Yeah, he's having a day. Filthy's a perfect description.
So when you got 3 votes last week, you would have got 3 votes last week, wouldn't you? Close to it.
If not him or Richards.
Richards would have.
Yeah.
I would love to see him win a Brownlow too.
Well, to stop it now, he's probably in front.
He thought, I need a goal assist as well, so I'll dish this off to Matt Kennedy and see if he can help me with that. Set shot from 48 on the 3/4 time siren. Off target.
Never again.
Across the face. Doggies by 58, 16-6, 102, plays 6-8-44 at 3/4 time. The goal kickers, 3 to Darcy, 4 to Norton, 2 to Bontempelli, 2 to Baker, 2 to Davidson, singles, Liberatore and Hines, while for GWS, 2 to Callaghan, singles to Toby Green, Ralston, Riccardi and O'Halloran. In that third quarter, the big moment, a 3-man collision between Himmelberg, Laverty and Will Lewis, the debutant for the Dogs. Himmelberg and Laverty seem like they're okay. Stitches for Himmelberg. Laverty, I think maybe a corky in the end, and Lewis with blood coming from his forehead.
Benny, can I just jump in here? Can you just dig up the full game stats? I reckon this is an unbelievable number of possessions for 2 sides going head to head, and it's got 10 yards difference. 10 goal difference. And what do we?
5 disposals difference.
5 disposals. So we
Bulldogs 300. GWS 295.
600 possessions. Let's round it. 600 possessions for 22 goals.
Yep.
What about this? That's what I used to do as a coach. I always divide the goals into possessions just to see how many sides take the score, etc., etc., etc. It's an extraordinary, and I know there's been some tackles, but.
What about the inside 50s though? 40 to 39.
Yeah, that's right.
Basically the same, and one team's 58 points up.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So
how it gets in there, all that stuff the numbers can lie.
That's one liar. It always has been.
Yep.
Inside 50s. We regularly saw Melbourne last year and the year before dominate inside 50s and lose by anything between 5 and 10 goals. So that is the right half. That is an absolute. What does it mean inside 50? It just simply means the opposition got it and they've run the ball back.
So the Dogs are going at a goal every 18 and a half disposals.
18 and a half, yeah.
And the Giants are going every 50.
Wow.
So that's what I mean.
There's the game.
50 and 18. So let's work on 19. God, yeah.
All right, 58 points, the Bulldogs lead. It's huge Saturday footy still to come. Geelong and Fremantle up next, and then in different directions tonight. More on all of that to come. Bulldogs by 58 here, Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Hi, it's Mackenzie Arnold.
I'm Caitlin Ford.
It's Alana Kennedy.
Hi, I'm Claire Hunt from the Matildas.
Get behind the Tillies with ABC Sport for the AFC Women's Asian Cup Australia 2026. Live and ad-free on ABC Listen.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Richards marks the kick. He's got it 70 metres out. Looks inside 50. Norton leaping up. Can't complete the mark. Buckley. Hand pass back into dispute. Straight to Sanders of the Dogs. Handball away to Libba. Libba smooth. Off a step. Puts it through. And the Dogs pick up where they left off.
Bontempelli paddles to his own advantage. Kicks towards full forward. Iden drops the mark. Time to recover. GWS under all sorts of pressure. They're swarming the Dogs. Norton applying the tackle. Ball jars free. Bailey Williams loops it over the top. Darcy in the goal square. Pokes it through. This is a procession. Riccardi taps it down to Callahan. Back to Riccardi. Dribbles the kick. Jakes gathers just beyond attacking 50 for the Dogs. Off to West. Short kick for Bramble. Not 15. He's tackled. Gives it off to Bailey Dale. Pokes it inside 50. And Baker's got it again. Already got one in his milestone game. Snaps it from 40 and curls it through.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
That is Luke Beveridge's song Tooth and Nail. You fan of that?
That's okay. I don't mind that. Yeah, did you get the number one?
It's not yet. I think that's how I'll answer that.
There's still time, man. There's still time.
The way the Dogs are playing, they might just back it into number one. That's Luke Beveridge with Tooth and Nail. I'm sure we'll hear that a few times across the course of the season.
I'd love a bit more grunt in that.
Well, we know what happens in Liverpool's great the Mersey.
Never walk alone.
Maybe that could be the one played as they run in the race or any other stage. Hey,
season's still young.
It's very young, man. It suits the Dogs.
Well, there's no bad ideas.
Solo.
Dogs by 58. Let's head down to the Cattery. Next stop, Geelong and Fremantle on this huge Saturday of footy. Joel Peterson heading up the call. Joel.
Hard act to follow, Corb. Picture perfect day here in the Pivot City. The locals looking to bounce back from what was a pretty abject first up display last Friday. We get our first look this season at this much hyped Freo team. Both teams played in September last year. The Cats, of course, beaten grand finalists. The Dockers beaten in that thrilling elimination final against the Suns. And if you cast your mind back to this time last year when they met here at Kinnear Park, the Cats absolutely blew the Dockers off the park. But Freo have won their past or the previous two matchups here against Geelong's. Dangerfield and Cameron back in for Geelong, their first games of the season. We get our first look at Mitch Edwards for the Cats too, the young ruckman, former Freo Next Gen Academy member who debuts today. And the Dockers fans will get their first look at Judd McVie in the purple colours as well. There are no late changes here at Kinnear Park, which is somewhat of an achievement for the Cats. Not so much for the Dockers, I guess. Andrew May's with me to call it. Cal Sinclair and Boomer Harvey to run their eyes over proceedings this afternoon, when you are done after the under the dome and after we've had a rendition of Tooth and Nail from Daniel Harford as well, Corb.
All of that to look forward to. Thanks, Joel. We'll be with you before long. So that is big news. No late change. I felt like we all had our eyebrow raised about whether Cameron and Dangerfield were both going to play, but as you heard there from Joel, they are in. 58 points, the Bulldogs lead over the Giants. So next stop, Cats and Dockers. And then later tonight, 2 games on. You can either pick between the Swans or the Lions, or the Pies and the Crows. They're the 2 games at the same time, both available through ABC Listen. Quick thoughts, Mick and half, Dogs by 58.
Well, my quick thought is this, that Clayton Oliver's walking off. Now, I don't know whether I hope he's not injured, but what impact has he? I'd just like to see those stats, those game stats, because he and how many clearances he's had.
Clary's had 22 touches, only 2 clearances.
Yeah, so there's the problem. If he's not clearing the football, he's not having a good day at all.
Margin 58 points, final term underway, and a quick kick going forward here for the Dogs. There's a free kick in all of that. Advantage applied, and it's handed to Bontempelli, so he adds to his tally. Kicks for Darcy. Good luck stopping that.
So if I was Adam Kingsley, Nick, at three-quarter time, I'm going to my mids, my centre bounce mids, and saying, righto, I don't care what happens, they're not winning the first one. So if you have to give them a free kick, rough and tumble,
stop it.
Just stop any flow out of the centre bounce. But that's exactly what happened on that occasion.
Again.
And here we are.
Yep.
What a great kick too, Darcy. I mean, he's that tall. Put it up in the air, put it to his advantage, he'll do the rest.
Yeah, there's no one down there that gets anywhere near his shoulder, is there?
Darcy moves in, drop punt, good. It's a 4-goal day for Sam Darcy. His tally's up to 6 for the season. And this man is a weapon. 64 points, an equal game high for the Bulldogs. 17-6-108, GWS 6-8-44. We are 1 minute into the final term. This is Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
What did he kick? How many did he kick last year?
So he kicked 48.
48.
In only 17 games.
Yeah, he missed a few with that injury. So one more year experience. The Dogs look different in the middle, so he's going to have probably better opportunity.
Might kick 70 plus.
Well, look, he only has to kick 50, and you got, say 60.
I think
they've got some weapons down there now that can terrorise most sides.
And the man who's looked completely different since he's come in and helped him, Aaron Norton.
Yeah.
Massive help for Aaron Norton in there. Out of the middle of the Giants, Canelio gets rid of it to Ash. Flower bag towards full forward. Karmas punches it away. More of a helicopter than a flower bag as Karmas spoils it down and the ball up.
So you say, Ben, that you've been watching the Dogs with their spoiling. Geelong and Hawthorn are probably the best in the comp. Maybe Collingwood there. And it's a great lesson because what it doesn't allow you a chance. You don't go, will I have a chance? No, I've got to spoil this ball, so it puts it on the deck.
English palms it down. Jakes takes it, gives it off to Kennedy, clearing from the back pocket for the Dogs, up towards Norton. He can't take the mark, soccers it on, chasing after it Darcy. Last disposal out of bounds, so lasso free kick going the way of the Giants and Buckley.
I wonder if they work on their ambidextrous spoiling as well down at the Cats and the Hawks.
Make the right call.
Well, what they work on, they work on 2-on-1. So they could get one player pulls back on the forward, the other one comes over and marks it or punches it.
The Dogs have done well today, haven't they?
Brilliant.
Done better.
Buckley short to Ash, and Ash kicks to centre half forward, and here's Toby Green who takes the mark.
Coach is never happy.
Try being a son-in-law.
Oh no! Can't say anything bad about his son-in-law. We've got 2 beautiful daughters.
Toby Green had a reasonable day himself with 24 disposals now, 7 inside 50s. He's kicked a goal. Yet in the so-called head-to-head battle with Marcus Bontempelli, he's running second. Toby Green on the drop punt. Misses. Out to the left and behind, and I think he flags that back end of last year. A little wayward Toby. He's missed a couple of set shots this afternoon. 3.5 minutes into the last. Bulldogs by 63.
Yeah, so what I meant by that, he wouldn't have missed them a year or 2 earlier. He's just, the range is just nearly beyond him now.
Errant kick from Butterick, exiting D50, and a turnover on the bounce out of play, so free kick for Harvey Thomas, wearing Phil Davis's old number 1. Diminutive Thomas, shorts it. Sorry, half.
Same size jumper?
I don't think so. It's like he would have worn number 1 in juniors, I reckon. And they were ordered from 1 to 25 in size. As Ash kicks it deep towards full forward off the hands of the pack. Selwood at fullback, loses it. Gothard pinches it. Snaps and misses the lot. Outside of the boot, it tumbles out. Throw in right forward pocket for GWS.
Mick's point about the spoiling and the decision to spoil for the Dogs defenders, like you can sort of brush across that and say, well, who cares? But it creates great certainty for the guys around the contest too. So there's no grey area. Is he going to try and mark it? No, they're just going to bring it to ground, and we'll go to work and do the rest from there.
63 points, comes out the way of Butterick, gives it to Sanders. Hand pass away to Liver, he's mowed down, and Phoenix Gothard with a chase down tackle wins it back for the Giants.
And also, I reckon that they recognise O'Donnell is not Stewart. and he's not Silvani. So to compensate, let's get the ball on the deck.
Yep.
Lobby takes a nice mark, but when it's a one-on-one and it comes at you, fine. But when it's not, let's kill it. And those two young fellas that have come in, they've adjusted beautifully, those two half-back flankers.
Verdi's back on the ground. We'll get down to Ray in just a moment to see if he's got eyes on Elliot Himmelberg. Even Harry Himmelberg. As Phoenix got that. One of them. Miz kicks it right to the behind line, and English takes the mark. Last line of defence, goes across the goal face and finds lob back pocket.
Elliot might be here watching.
Yeah, we're doing well if he's got eyes on Elliot. Jake's off the back flank. Dogs by 63.
This ball's like a month-old pumpkin that sat in the fridge for didn't it? The ball he kicked.
Yeah.
On to Baker, on to Kennedy, and now Fraser.
His
kick infield. Cold turnover to Gothard.
Good.
Giants go with it quickly. Toby Green lifts it over the top. Hayden wasn't quite ready, or Delana rather. And now the Dogs back the other way. Liberatore short. Bontempelli 49 out. Gives it off to Baby Bont. Fraser kicks to the pocket. Norton, he's got it. 15 out, just in the field of play. Wrong side for the left footer.
So that looked easy on the way through there for the Dogs, but it was because of the really bad turnover in the middle of the ground from Toby Green. Like, they were away, the Giants. Everyone started rolling forward. Horrible turnover. They could not have a chance of defending that on the way back.
Right foot snap from Norton, and he's got a handful.
Having a day.
And that's exactly what he's been. And they are out by 69 points, a new game high. 18-6, 114 plays 6-9-45. Mick Malthouse and Daniel Harford 6.5 minutes into this term after Ray Chamberlain.
Yeah, guys, no update from Himmelberg. He went downstairs. He needed to have stitches. They were having an assessment in relation to concussion. We don't have any word from that yet, and he certainly hasn't come back up.
And the other two guys are back, so Laverty and Lewis.
Yeah, no dramas there. Laverty's going to have a decent limp on him, I reckon, for a week, but Will Lewis will be fine as well.
Thanks.
How would you like to have two players? They've kicked 10 between them right now, and they take the pressure of each other.
Yeah.
Darcy and Norton.
It's a great combination.
Isn't it?
And the thing that I've watched pretty closely today, they try and avoid each other's space as much as possible as well.
Beautifully. But you throw in the other man that wears number 4.
Yes.
And all of a sudden you've got something especially dangerous up there. No Waitman yet back on that side. Young West is a really creative player, hard-working. Starting to put it all together, the Dogs.
I think if you picked them to play off, you'd be pretty comfortable with your prediction early in the young season as Bont hand pass away to Richards, kicks the centre-half forward. And an intercept mark taken there in defence by Buckley.
It's a great idea, the wild card, I
reckon. Short to Iden, hand pass to Thomas, kicks the half back for Whitfield.
I'll vomit on it. Honestly.
Handball to Callaghan, gives it to Iden, he tries to beat the Bont. And you can't do that today. Bontempelli wins again as he kicks for his 30th touch inside 50. He's going to get it through to Lewis in the pocket, picks it up, runs out of room. Boundary throw in forward pocket for the Bulldogs. The Bont's doing it with and without the footy today.
I'm going to go to the kids' school and get those little, the tags they put on the first, second, and third, and the fifth one.
Yeah.
So and then the sixth one. And if there's 20 kids play, they all get it. So I'm going to give
down to 10th.
No, 18th. Let them all think they've done well.
West back feeds a handball away to Bont, and then Davidson kicks across the 50.
Well, they've called advantage there.
Yeah.
Nobody knew.
And the Dogs have won it back anyway after GWS had it momentarily. English goes short to Davidson. He'll look out wide. West, 60 metres out from goal. Gathers on the bounce from for the Dogs. Stabs it inside 50. It was touched. Bailey Williams gets rid of it. Liberatore centering ball. And Bontempelli, not quite. Comes down for Kennedy. He'll snap on goal and bounce it through. Mark down another for the Western Bulldogs. 75 points, 19-6, 120. They 6-9-45, 9 minutes into the fourth. It is ugly for GWS.
So after the first minute where the Dogs kicked the goal in this term, the Giants actually had a patch. For 5 or 6 minutes where they had it up their end, they looked like they were going to score a couple of times, missed a few shots, and they looked pretty good. They were chasing hard, they were pressuring, they were doing all that you want them to do. The last 3 or 4 minutes, they've done exactly the opposite. They've almost... I'm not sure there's a towel in just yet, but it's on the sideline ready to be thrown.
They're not 10-goal worst side. That's what gets... The scoreboard says 10 or 12, whatever it is. they've made the most of it, the Dogs.
Yep.
And defensively, the Giants have been found out at the ball, at the face of it, right smack bang where this is happening right now.
This is
another clearance.
Out of the middle they go again. Richards with the centre break, kicks deep to Norton, one out in the cage. Buckley does well to break it up. There's a free kick though, Norton was being held. Free kick for Norton, and the Dogs just pour it on out of the middle.
I feel for their defenders, their key defenders here. They're getting such easy ball out of the centre bounce. Got no support in those scenarios. 6-on-6 as we know. And it's just one-on-one deep for Buckley.
Well, I don't know whether...
The arm around the neck is where it is, I reckon.
I just
he's a bit
call
stiff.
Call it play on.
I reckon he's a bit stiff.
Ray would have paid it.
It is just relentless out of the middle as Norton pops it through for number 6. A half dozen for Aaron Norton. And an 81-point lead for the Bulldogs. Another showcase for the red, white and blue against their former rival in the Giants. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. It started with another lopsided game. There's a lot to come in Prospect. Geelong and Fremantle next. There's no late change at Cardinia Park. We'll take you there following this, and then later tonight either the Swans and the Lions or the Pies and the Crows.
So it's a real statement, this, Mick, from the Bulldogs. Well, talked about the lack of effort and sometimes competition from the Giants, but this is a real statement. Last week was one. Winning against the reigning premiers, back-to-back premiers away.
Yeah. Big time.
Feather in your cap. And then what they've done today has been scintillating.
I want to watch this. Toby Greens now has been instructing these players where to go. This will be interesting.
English slaps it forward, but Oliver goes and gathers it. Kicks laterally for the Giants.
Well, they got it out. Yeah. That's the first part.
Slightly retreating as well. Thomas stabs a pass onto Toby Green. And he'll veer around, feed the handball forward to Thomas. The diminutive Thomas runs inside 50. Kick charge down by Bramble. And the Dogs get it back though. The handball from Hines. Chopped off by Cornelio. Steps his man. Snaps the goal.
Yeah, well done, Stephen Cornelio.
Something for GWS.
Toby Green set that up. And interesting enough, he was the one at the centre bounce who was instructing. Clearly, he can see what everyone else can see. They are getting smashed there. They're able to, that's the first stoppage that I think that they've won, and I can remember cleanly. We're able to take the ball away from the centre and create something from it.
A lot of crowd reaction to that goal. 26-126 plays 7-9-51, 12 and a half minutes into the fourth.
I thought it was an optimistic pause from Ben, like he was waiting for some big roar when Cornelio kicked the goal.
11 people down there.
And Mick's voice just bailed him out to pick it, break the silence as no one responded at all. Bulldogs by 75.
I liked it, Benny.
Yeah. 80.
I thought there might have been a cheer.
Last time they met, it was 88 points the difference. Round 21 last year, and it's in the same neighbourhood again. 75 points the margin. Dogs get it going forward out of the middle, and Whitfield, looking over his shoulder, takes the mark.
But that in itself is bizarre, isn't it?
Isn't it? For
88 points for two good teams.
Yeah.
So, and they've backed it up again today.
So 9 of the last 10 the Bulldogs have won against the Giants, but the last 4 have been by an average margin of 46. So they've just got them covered at the moment for a team they used to have a great rivalry with in those pulsating finals, middle part of last decade and into the back end of it. It's down towards half forward, the Giants head. Karmas, hand pass back for Hines, can't trap it, he's locked up now in the tackle. So we've got a ball up here, 45 metres out from the Giants goal at right half forward.
The only way you beat the Dogs, if you can beat them at stoppage, if you don't do that, their running game and now their defensive game is elite. Did you pick them to win the premiership, Corby?
No.
Making the grand final?
Did you, House?
I did.
No, I didn't have his grand finalist, no.
Oh, I didn't either. Oh, did you, Mick?
Yeah, you know I did.
He certainly did.
But you're not going to tell me the other one. Don't say the other one I said.
Who's
St Kilda.
Well, she's gone early there.
Riccardi palming it down. Going after it, O'Halloran. He can't really gather the footy cleanly. Neither can Fraser. Gives it to Lobb. Tackled quickly by Oliver.
I had Suns Lions.
Oh, yeah. Great chance. Great chance.
I had Lions Freo.
Don't mind it.
Well, that's a chance too.
Lions Freo.
Riccardi pokes out a kick after missing it in the ruck. Oliver goes and picks it up. He somehow gets a kick away. O'Halloran darting boundary side, snapping on goal. Bending the wrong way. Nearly got it there. Buku Karmas had to fist it through on the line. A minor score. The Bulldogs lead by 75 points. Quarter hour mark, fourth term.
If I had my time again,
yep,
on what we've seen so far, very small sample size of the season, I'll be having the Gold Coast Suns right in there. The way they play, the way the season...
Similar to this.
Yeah, it's
very similar to this.
Great around the contest.
Yeah.
Real acceleration and excitement around the ball.
Well, Petrarca's going to add such value to them. They've already got the reigning Brownlow.
They don't have the two big units forward. As if it got Ben King, got one. I just reckon
that's one.
Yeah. But we talked about the guys that got 10 between them.
Yeah, that's true.
Take a bit of pressure off.
Ray Chamberlain on the boundary.
Half, do you want to see them win a couple of big games first before you tout them as the premiers? Does that matter, or am I making that up?
Oh, you make it up. You're an umpire.
I'm also a Virgo, Mick, but it was a question, mate.
I
called curiosity.
The way they play, Ray, is what impresses me. I mean, you've got to beat the good teams to be a premiership team, don't get me wrong, but I just think it's all set up now. It's all balanced really well for them to explode.
Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Who was your Cronulla then, Ben?
I had Freo and Brisbane.
Oh, same as half. Yeah. You didn't
anyone. Who'd Razor have?
Who'd you have, Ray?
I wasn't asked, so I don't want to hear a word out of your mouth when it comes to the round.
Here comes Norton. Handball away towards Bramble, who runs into centre half forward, shoots goalward. I think he snuck it through. Another one for the Dogs in total command. And GWS struggling to keep up. It is an 80-point game, 16 minutes played final term. Bulldogs 21-6, 132. GWS 7-10-52. Lopsided Saturday Arvo footy here on ABC Sport.
Ray did get me a ripper last year. He sent me on our socials. We put up our top 10 of our ABC Footballer of the Year votes.
Yes.
Ray said, are these voted on by the experts? I said, yeah, mate, absolutely they are. He said, okay, cool. So we only get into the umpires when it's all midfielders.
There you go.
I just walked right into the trap. It was a good point. 10 midfielders right at the top. No key position players.
Yeah, fixated on numbers in this industry.
Ray, from your position right now, give us your 3, 2 and 1 if you're an umpire.
Oh, that's a good one.
I had it today. I think I love Bont's work. He's been unbelievable. You can't go past him.
Yep, 3.
I think the big you can have an argument up forward with the big fellas who hit the scoreboard and marked it. I like that. I couldn't put a GWS player in, Mick, not today.
No,
so
but who's your second? So you go second and third, Norton and Darcy, was it?
They'd be in the discussion, absolutely.
That's a pretty good set.
Oh, too right it is. Too right. Yep. I think you might have nailed it for the, it's good on you.
20 years of practice, Mick.
That's 400 game umpire, multiple grand finals, Virgo, Ray Chamberlain on the boundary. 81 points, the Dogs lead.
How many votes did you get through your career?
No, I don't know, not many.
Boundary.
You would know.
No, I don't know.
Back to Ray. Ray?
I was just going to say, you talk about the difference and who gets the votes. One of the things that just absolutely smacks you in the face when you see the Bulldogs today is the even spread across the middle. Their midfielders have all got clearances. They've all kicked goals. So, what is the difference? It's actually a really fair question, Mick.
No, I like what you've done because you've actually named 2 players away from the midfield and from sitting. I think that's fantastic. So come on, Half, you must know.
No, I don't. I know 1 year, 97, I led after round 6.
Hey,
with whatever it was, and Bruce McAvaney was hosting, and the camera panned to me as they were going to the break, and he says, "There he is, our leader after round 6. I don't think he'll be there for long."
Gives it off to Canelio, who sweeps the handball to Delana, who gives it off to Harvey Thomas, and they cough it up, and the Giants in their attacking half. I don't think they'll be there for long as Baker chips it out to Fraser.
So where did you come?
No, deep. I only got one more vote.
See, I got 25th 1 year.
25th, that's good.
Equal 25th, because the winner won with 25. I got 1. I did say equal, didn't I? Equal 25th.
They work it out.
One vote in 12 years, Razor. So thank you. Your crowd obviously didn't rate me at all.
Dogs have worked it well downfield. Lewis marks, chips the centre half forward for Davidson, pokes it further afield, and West marks. All the upset touched on the way through. West has got 3 to beat. He can't do that. Caught by Fonte holding the ball.
Stiff.
If you're wondering why we've drifted a little from the action, it's 81 points the difference. 19 minutes gone in the final term. The Dogs have run up an absolute score, and Marcus Bontempelli with another signature game against the Giants.
Callahan kicks around the wing and getting back lob, spoils it away from Hogan. Hogan gathers just in the field of play, has room to work, and the centering ball looking for Riccardi. Riccardi can't quite hold on to the mark. Well, he's paid it anyway. 49 metres out is English.
Well done by Hogan too. Didn't blaze away, looked up, found him in the corridor. He's good for the distance, Riccardi.
Got a question for you two about GWS in a moment as well. Riccardi out of Werribee in the VFL and a mature age pickup, part of their footy factory out there. Riccardi from 53. It's out to the right. It'll go close to the boundary line and out on the full. So the Dogs will get it. So GWS are one of the main score from back half teams in the competition. We all get excited by the Orange Tsunami and the way they move the ball as Butterick shorts it for Liberatore. Adam Simpson is adamant that the game's still very much a forward half game, and we all get very excited about the sexy ball movement. But against the better sides, they come up short, GWS, because of that. They play too much from their back half, and it doesn't work against the better sides.
Dangerous kick here. Kennedy looking for Hines, just over his fingertips. Ash has got it and switches play to the opposite back flank for the Giants.
So is that why they seem to look good at times throughout the season and then fall short in finals?
Short to Riccardi, Mark's defensive side of the wing. Slow play here. 81-point lead for the Dogs.
They've been to the grand final once and got smashed tonight, so
yep.
They are a good football team.
Played finals.
Look, one of the things is you've got to be good in the three areas there. You've got to be able to take the ball from the back half and get it into the forward half. You've got to be able to do well at stoppages, and you've got to be able to keep the ball in your forward half. So I think their biggest Achilles heel to me has, on today, it's been the midfield. But I don't know whether they keep the ball in their forward line as often as of the very good football sides.
Jeez, short kicking game for the Giants. Ash turns it over, and now it's a problem coming back downhill. Liberatore to Fraser to Richards, all with a touch. Handball goes forward. Big leap went early. There was Fonte. That was silly. Sat on the shoulders of Darcy. He was worried about him, and so he should be at 2 metres tall. And Darcy's going to get the free left half forward for the Dogs.
They're going to have nightmares, these Giants defenders. They've had no support.
No, well,
all afternoon.
Taylor won't come back until halfway through the year, so I don't know when the second game is against this. But they clearly are another big man short, aren't they? Yep. But having said that, how many players are going to be playing well on Darcy? Look, he's 208.
Yeah.
It's something like that. It doesn't matter. He's
humongous.
Yeah, he is. And Mark's high.
Sam Darcy moves in, drop punt, sails, goalward. It misses out to the right. So Darcy's kicked 4, Norton's kicked 6. Bontempelli's kicked 3 and had a boatload of it. So 32 disposals for him, 11 inside 50s. It's been a big day for the Dogs. Everyone's joined in the party. They lead by 82 points. And the only major sort of injury concern after that 3-man collision was Harry Himmelberg, who got a cut on the bottom of his chin. I'll notice Ray, he's back on the bench.
He certainly is, and he's knocking the power rate over, so I dare say he's ready to go. I don't know whether would you bother?
Yeah.
No, you're right, Ray, especially with 23 players.
And, I think, it's a long year, isn't it? You want to care for him. So, anyway, we'll watch and see. They certainly had plenty of time down there to assess him. He wouldn't be up here if he wasn't well.
Giants down the city wing. Ralston overshoots the target, and Buku Kamas wins it for the Dogs. Off to Davidson, who kicks into the middle of the ground. Bouncing ball for Fraser. Little fumble, recovers off to Liberatore. He'll kick inside 50, and the Dogs are everywhere down there. It's Buckley opposed to 4, and West gives away a free kick.
Did he?
No.
He just nudged him underneath it.
Ray?
What do you reckon, Ray?
Play on for mine.
Thank you. Yep. That's the correct
There
call.
you go, Mick. There's one where Ray disagrees. Dogs by 82 points late in this game.
And he's a Virgo.
Yeah, all of that. He's got a new team now. He's not part of the team in green. He's the ABC Sport team all season long.
I thought he was going to say something else when he started that, by the way. I thought, that's not umpire. It sort of makes sense.
Rouston short to Fonte. Fonte chips it further afield. Finds Laverty. Laverty moves it on to Callahan. Between wing and half forward. Kicks inside 50. Falls down towards Stringer. Stringer's hand pass. Ends up in the lap of Sanders. Goes darting away. Handball to halfback for English. Handball over the top to Hines. Back flank. Kicks hurriedly to the wing. Liberatore does well to keep it in front of him. Turns into a 2-man tackle. Ball comes out. Darcy off his knees. Handball over his shoulder. It'll sit for Lockie Jacks as he runs into Buckley. Taken high. Free kick for Jacks. He's going to get it left half forward. Dogs by 82, 25 minutes gone in the final term.
Out of St Mary's down in Geelong, and very good friends with a young star cricketer, Ollie Peake, I'm led to believe, has Jake sits it up, looking for Darcy, and sitting in front, Briggs.
We need Peak
strong mark
side at the moment.
As Briggs kicks laterally and finds Thomas. Back pocket here for the Giants. Just loops a kick over the top for Iden. Ray Chamberlain.
I just wanted to finish off the Brownlow stuff with Mick, who was lamenting only one vote. One of my favourite players, Mick, was Nick Smith. He never got a Brownlow vote. He was all right.
Lucky Ash. Looping another kick for Grujevski. He comes flying through to take the mark.
Couldn't have been that big a favourite, Ray. You didn't give him one.
Grujevski looping a handball over the top to Ash. The sting out of this game. The Dogs are going to be big winners. Brown loops it over the top by hands to the run of Cornelio. Half forward for the Giants and overshoots the kick. At the back, English marks inside D50 for the Dogs.
So that's significant. You've got a ruckman who's sitting back behind the play and allow the other side to come up. So straight away, you've got to redirect your kick. I just think that they've grown defensively in the two games I've seen. Now, there's a long way to go, I understand that. But I think this will be the difference between making the 8 and not making the 8, that defensive work.
Plus, you've got a guy like Darcy that can ruck in the forward 50, so he doesn't have to
particularly
sprint all the way down there.
Particularly new rules, it's fantastic.
Old school ruck plays a kick behind.
Yeah,
English
it is.
To Bontempelli, who's now got 33 touches. This one a turnover. He kicks it straight to Callahan. And Finn Callahan has a hip complaint. Didn't train much during the week. Pulled up okay to play, but he's been in a side that's been well beaten today. Shares it with Laverty to Buckley across the half-back line. Long kick forward to Brown. So the pink boots on with the orange socks, which are an interesting clash. Chips it short to Grishevsky, who marks it left half forward. 60 metres out. Final 2 minutes, Dogs by 82. We'll see the Bulldogs on Friday night in a juicy fixture against Adelaide in Adelaide. That's a fun game. So Bulldogs Crows next Friday night in the City of Churches. Kick into the forward pocket, ends up out of playoff hands.
I think Adelaide got 2 6-day games. Well, according to Scotty Burns, a coffee win this morning.
He'd know.
He would know, all right. King of the backline, Burnsy. He's got the backline group.
Briggs takes it out of the ruck, snaps on goal and overcooks it, hooks it, misses to the left-hand side.
It's a good start the next week too. You got Hawthorn Sydney on Thursday, and then Adelaide Doggies on Friday.
Yeah, some top end games are really interesting. Well, this is supposed to be a top end game.
Yeah, Giants Saturday twilight next week against St Kilda. So again, another chance to peg where those two teams are at in relation to one another early in the young season. Saints still to play this weekend. They got Melbourne tomorrow. Ball up on the wing. Cats and the Dockers to come next. No late change at Cardinia Park. Ball trickles away to Iden, back flank. Surge kick down the wing. Bounce unkind for Grishevsky. Picked up by O'Donnell. Handpass got it through to Sanders in the end. That's 70 seconds left in this contest. To Bramble to Butterick. 81-point lead for the Bulldogs. Another blowout, so we're 8 games into the young season. 4 of them decided by over 50 points. Butterick through the middle of the ground, kicks out wide to half forward, and Riley West just takes the mark casually at left half forward.
They've been trying to get him in the mix, get him on the goal sheet, Riley West, for the last quarter.
He's got a goal in his last 12 games, but hasn't kicked one today.
Talk about improvement in players. His improvement the last couple of seasons has been profound. Should have been in the All-Australian squad last year. He was awesome. Love what he's become.
West, the drop punt from about 55 out right to the behind line. It doesn't score. Sits there for Iden, gets a hand pass away to Angwood, and he flares one sweeping hand pass to the back pocket for Ralston.
His clearing kick is too wide and out on the full. Bailey Williams will have the kick for the Dogs. Yeah, just on Riley West last year, he led the competition for tackles inside 50 and, second in the AFL. The tackles inside 50 last year, as well as kicking 39 goals.
Good number, isn't it?
Yeah, as a small forward. Good going. The Dogs just switching the ball laterally from the city wing to the dockside wing. Ends up with Selwood. He'll poke it for Kennedy.
Have a shot.
And the Bulldogs have slayed the Giants. And maybe they're setting the early pace in 2026. They will shoot to the top of the AFL ladder.
Got to be barrel.
Kennedy with a kick after the siren. To the side of the margin, he's flushed it. They won't quite get there. And the Bulldogs will win by 81 points. 21-8, 134. Plays 7-11-53. They led by 16 points at quarter time. They kicked 6 goals to 2 in the second term, led by 38 at the half. That was out to 58 at three-quarter time and winning by 81, extending their lead at every break. The goal kickers, Norton with 6, Darcy with 4, Bontempelli was enormous. He booted 3, 2 to Davidson and singles to Bramble, Liberatore, Kennedy and Hines, and I think I missed Baker, who also had a couple. For GWS, 2 to Callahan, singles to Cornelio, Green, Rouston, Riccardi and O'Halloran.
Red, white and blue, we come out snarling, bulldogs through and bulldogs fight and bulldogs roar. We give our very best, 'cause you can't beat the boys of the bulldog breed. We're the team of the mighty West, 'cause you can't beat the boys of the bulldog breed. The team of the mighty West.
So that's now 5 in a row for the Western Bulldogs against the Giants. It's 10 of their last 11. And out those 10 of the last 11, they've got an average winning margin of over 6 goals. The last 5 are decided by 53 points on average. It was 88 points last year. It's 81 points this afternoon. The Greater Western Bulldogs, 21-8, 134. They beat GWS 7-11-53. Mick Malthouse, Daniel Harford, the Dogs 2-0. The Giants dropped to 1-1.
You didn't happen to catch how many people were here, Corby? They
haven't posted an official
which is strange,
attendance.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Really impressive, Half. Really, when you look at where they finished last year, you've got to take into consideration there's a lot of sides that have come from ninth and won premierships.
Yep.
Because it's, I don't know, maybe it's the lack of finals, or maybe that's that taste, maybe you're close. I think we might have been ninth and made the grand final a long time ago. Anyway, I just like the way, yes, Norton was good, and we know Bontempelli was good, we know Darcy was good. I like the 2 young fellas that have gone to the back line, haven't got a lot of experience, but they are hard, they're tight.
Yep. Jackson Selwood.
Which allows Dale to be a little bit more attacking. I reckon that they've acknowledged the fact that O'Donnell is going to be their key back for a long time. Lobby's down there, we know that. But how to support him? Well, let's have a look at the best what they do. They spoil the ball when that ball's in the air, and you're going to spoil the ball when the ball's in the air because you're forcing them to kick the ball long, because when they look up and they can't see anything else. You can't spoil the ball if there's leads all over the place and they're marking it. So you've got to change the whole system in front of you, which I reckon the Dogs have done. Very impressive.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I saw them last week against the Lions. I thought, gee, that's impressive. That's pretty good. But to see this live and the way they dismantled the Giants around the contest, but even when they had possession of the footy, they just took away any option for them to use easy ball or find easy targets. And then in transition, they were scintillating. We talked about the efficiency for disposals per goal at three-quarter time was 18 to 50, which is ridiculous, extraordinary. Probably ends up more in their favour in the last quarter if we do the numbers. But super impressed with the Dogs. It was sapping conditions last week in Brisbane as well. I thought that might have taken a bit of life out of them early in the season, that first game sort of blow up. But they were on top of the ground today, and they look every inch a contender from what we've seen so far. 2 games in, they've beaten 2 finals teams, 2 good teams, and they've done it pretty well. I reckon they have announced themselves as one of the absolute teams to chase in 2026.
Yeah, and the exciting thing is, for me, and I haven't seen a lot of him, but I really trust his game, is young Croft. He'll come back in the side at some stage. He is a mark. He just launched himself at anything and everything. I think that's why he's missed, because of that injury when he tried to take that mark. You throw him in there as well, then when Darcy or English go off, you're not missing aerial strength in the forward line. And with 23 plays, you don't clutter up the ground. You don't clutter up the bench. So you've got this player. I'm quite excited about him, and I think he'll add another dimension to them when he gets going. And the other thing is too, I've got a funny feeling he could end up as a key back at some stage. So maybe I'm not saying it's a missing link, but he could only add value to that. I'm really impressed. And I'm not going to go off the Giants. I just think that you take Green's finish for the year, unfortunately. That's Tom Green. Taylor will come back, and they'll get a few of these other blokes back. They're a good football side, good enough to make the 8.
10?
I think they can make the 8. I really do. I think they can make the 8. But the pressure on them is to fill the gaps up with those that are missing to see whether they can actually hold up against it, because it just seems all the better sides are playing against it, which is fantastic. I think it's good for the competition. That's why I can't quite work out why West Coast are playing Gold Coast. But given some of these games, at some stage, like they've beaten Hawthorn, which was probably against the run of what everyone thought, GWS have got to win one of the next 2. Just to stay in touch with that surge that the Dogs are going to create. Probably Sydney will create, Gold Coast will create, maybe Collingwood. So you can't afford to drop too many of these games, particularly like this, without those players. You're going to have to do without those players. You've got to change your system to limit the opposition.
So they've got St Kilda next week at home, and then the Collingwood at the G on a Friday night.
Again.
Sorry, it's here. It's at Docklands on the Friday night in round 3.
Yeah.
So it's a tough couple of weeks.
Well,
and teams that will be around about the mark.
The same as them, that's right.
Yeah. Just a little RFI for GWS. I get that they've probably got to get a flight home and there's time crunch on and everything else, and it's all part of being a modern professional athlete. But I reckon the emergencies, they can probably wait till the winning team's off the ground before they start their run, can't they, at the end of the game? You've got James Leake and Ollie Hannaford, who are out there as the emergencies. They're running around in front of the Dogs fans who are lined the fence waiting to get a high five with their favourite players. There's a couple of guys out in an orange singlet doing their compulsory running as they're held over emergencies.
It's the life of the emergency, mate. Trust me, they don't want to be there.
They hate it.
They don't want to be there, trust me.
I'd rather be out on Collins Street running than doing that. Like, why would you want to be possibly running there in front of the entire stadium as they cheer on the Dogs? 81-point win. They won every quarter. 16 points at quarter time, 38 at the half, 58 at three-quarter time, and 81 in the finish. The Bont, here's his stat line. 33 disposals, 14 of them contested, 6 clearances, 11 inside 50s, 11 of his 33 touches led directly to scores. He also kicked 3 goals himself, 3 goals won on a busy day for Marcus Bontempelli, 6 goals for Norton, 4 for Darcy. But as the guys touched on, the defensive profile of the Bulldogs is the thing that's different. So 407 touches for the Dogs, 29 of them led to scores, compared to GWS, who had 387 disposals, only 18 of them led to scores. And powerful from stoppage again, 11 goals to 1 from stoppage in the Dogs' favour. They broke the record last year. They scored more from stoppage than any other team in the history of the game, in terms of those that are recorded stats, of course, in more recent times, over the last 25 years or so. So most powerful stoppage team leading to scores that we've ever seen in the game. And if they can add to it a bit more of a defensive profile, that they've got every area of the ground covered. They'll be pretty satisfied with their fortnight to start the season. They go to Brisbane. They beat the 2-time reigning premiers, kicking 8 of the last 11 goals after falling behind in that game, and then they come back to make a mess of GWS. They're about to come in and join Ray Chamberlain in the victorious rooms. The Bulldogs by 81 points. We're off to Cardinia Park next. But first, let's celebrate with the winners. What's happening down there, Ray?
Yeah, it's full in here early. Everyone's pretty happy with the early season form, and the players themselves are pretty sedate. They're just throwing the Powerade around Corb.
A couple of them. So there we go, the Powerade all over young Will Lewis. I say young, he's 26 years of age on debut, a feel-good story. So he was one of the 2 inclusions this week, and they didn't skip a beat. The Bulldogs, they make a mess of the Giants to win by 81 points. Little taste off the SMS. We might have time for an interview. We're on air for another 7 minutes or so before we take you to Cardinia Park. Most of the network will be going there. For those of you on Sydney News Radio, if you want to keep listening to the footy, you can find it through the ABC Listen app. So ABC Listen, the place to find it. For those of you in Canberra throughout the ACT, you'll be getting NRL coverage next. That's the West Tigers and the North Queensland Cowboys, but of course all the AFL action carried through ABC Listen. Off the SMS, Jamie and Paul from Ballarat. Love listening to Half and Mick from the banks of the Murray River in Barham. So
Barham, okay.
Thanks to the Murray River in Barham from Jamie and Paul. Thanks, guys. Nice to hear from you. They're from Ballarat originally. I feel like I've read that message back to front, but we got there. Heather, who's a Swannies fan from Sydney. So good to have Mick back and love Razor Ray on the boundary. Thank you all. Great call. Thanks, Heather. We're just doing our best to get them to get along a little better. Sia from Tasmania. No mouth guards at training required for the Giants this week. A rendition of Tooth and Nail on repeat should get a response next week. And absolutely loving the broadcast, the Savo Open. Half is great. Sorting my vinyl collection from Cal in Watsonia. Thanks, Cal. Nice to hear from you. Appreciate your
part
company.
Of the world, Watsonia.
Let's go back to the winners' rooms. The Dogs by 81 points. Ray Chamberlain.
Thanks, Corb. I'm down in the winners' rooms, Western Bulldogs, and I've got one of the midfield monsters in Matt Kennedy. Matt, congratulations on today's victory. How are you feeling?
Yeah, after a win like that, super. I mean, you know, we knew Giants were going to come out firing. That first quarter especially, like their pressure was through the roof. So we definitely felt that, but I think the way we absorbed that pressure and then we were able to move the ball forward from there was really super. I think the first half we probably let them get too many inside 50s, but the second half it was really pleasing. I thought we defended the ball really well.
Nice. Now, the negative Nellies of the world would highlight that the Dogs historically have had a bit of trouble taking care of top 8 sides, yeah? Pre-season, I give you that. You play Hawthorn, you towel them up. Then you head up to the Gabba and you take on the Premiers on their home deck. You get a win. Yeah. You come down here and you play another top 8 side and, you know, you've got historically a great record against them, but you give them a decent smacking today. What have you been working on in the pre-season to try and bridge what, you know, is a perceived gap between where you were and the side you got to beat to win the thing?
Well, I suppose it's important to know it's a new year, but look, if you look at last year, defensively we weren't up to standard. So in the pre-season, we went to work really hard on like our strengths, which is obviously our ball movement and our scoring ability. But on the back of that, if we can't impact, what are we doing behind the ball? I think our defenders have been super the first couple of rounds, especially. Like you look at Jod, Big Lobby, Buku down back, he's had a solid start. Their ability to kill the ball in the air has been first class. So I think that sets us up really well. But then off the back of that, like our mids getting back to help more and just our ability and our pressure from the forwards, mids, backs, all connected. We went to work pretty hard on it. We're still not perfect. Obviously, we gave up way too many inside 50s on the first half. So to get a couple of good results and still not nail it, which you're probably never going to do, but there's plenty to work on. But it's important I think it's a real positive to get the win with 4 points in the back pocket.
Absolutely. I'll hand up to the boys upstairs because I'm sure they've got a couple of questions loaded for you.
Matty, Daniel Harford, mate, well done today to you and the boys. It was emphatic. It was great to watch. I am interested in